3. We're live. What's up, everybody? Sam Morrell, thank you for coming, dude.
Thanks for having me, man.
I mean, I hate to dig into what we were just saying, but you're absolutely right. The headset, that was one of the funniest things I've ever heard.
Oh, why'd I burn it off air?
I was the funny, just saying.
That's what everyone says now. You show up, they're like, save it.
I know.
Save it for the pod. But, yeah.
Sam was looking at my headset. He said that just when you see a comedian with a headset on stage, you know a molestation story's going.
Yeah, it's going to get serious.
That's the funniest thing I've ever heard, man.
It's always something dark. There was another guy in the 90s. I forgot his name, but he was like, the first half was really funny. And then he was like, anyway, my dad was murdered. And you're like, what the fuck? But he had the headset. You knew something was coming.
It is. It does lend to like a gravitas towards the whole thing.
Yeah.
And here is the secret to life. And just pause.
Or like a self-help person where they're just like doing this a lot.
That's where I got, remember, did you ever see Vanilla Skies with Tom Cruise?
Yeah.
That's where this made me laugh of him just being like, you want to get fucking pussy or not? Thank you for coming, dude. I'm fucking pumped to have you.
I couldn't tell if that was a good movie or not.
When they broke out in singing in the end, it pissed me off.
Vanilla Sky?
Am I thinking? No, I'm thinking of not Vanilla Sky, Magnolia or something.
Yeah. Oh,
my
with
bad.
the frogs?
My bad. I'm thinking. Yes.
Yeah, that was annoying.
That pissed me off.
And it was like a really good movie till then.
It was awesome, and then it just ended pointlessly with him singing, and I was like, "This is fucking pisses me off."
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, dude, thanks for coming, man.
Thanks for having me, dude. I'm happy to be here.
Dude, it's funny. The first time I ever saw you, I was a pup in comedy. I was a young pup, and my friend Chris O'Connor was like, "Dude, Sam Morrell's going." It was in Philly. You were doing some show. I forget where it was. We just watched, and we're like, you know, when you just start and you see a guy who like actually can do it, and you're just like, "Oh fuck, dude."
Where was it?
It's in Philly. I forget, some theater. It was like a theater, but it wasn't like a. It was like a
black box type thing.
Yes,
I did a lot of those in Philly because they were easy. Easy to get to. Train is like 90 minutes. People don't know. It's like right there. But
yeah, I
loved it.
I was a young comedy pup, and we were going, "Whoa, dude, that's so fucking cool, dude. He has a whole fucking hour. This is crazy." All in 5 minutes, we're like, "Oh, dude, that's so fucking cool."
Oh, and then like if I look back at that hour, I'd be like, "Oh, I fucking suck." That's how it works, you know. You feel good about it for a minute, and then But then I don't like my new stuff either. It's like it's tough. Like, how do you feel about your stuff?
I go back and forth. Sometimes I'm like the hour I'm doing now, I'll be like, this is great. And then I'll like, there's like chunks of it where I'm like, this fucking sucks. I need to cut this all out. But I get to the point where I just want to be done with it. I'm like, all right, it is what it is. I want to like release this and just go on to coming up with something else.
I know it's amazing how quickly it's like just a new relationship. And like at first you're like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then a few months in, you're like, what am I doing?
I know what the fuck am I talking about? Yeah, I'll like laugh. I'll not even laugh. I'll be like, there's like certain things I'll say from it in my head. I'm like, you fucking loser, and I'm like, all right, come on, man, come on, let's get through the hour, brother. Let's get through the hour.
There's always that one chunk where you're like, fuck, why am I still doing? But you're doing it because you believe. You're like, it'll get better.
Yeah.
But you got to do it enough that you hate it, and then you're like, all right, I'll write new stuff.
It's time. Yeah, it's time to chop this loose. I'm excited. I'm gonna try to do a special at some point, and then in the spring maybe, and then just.
You're like one of the few successful YouTube specials of recent.
Thank you. Yeah,
I feel like there's not that had a moment, and then it was like it got oversaturated, and you, Ari, a few other people.
Dude, I was thinking for like maybe 40,000 views. So I was like, I'll probably get 40,000 on it, and then like I was like, I'll have to do a bunch of podcasts, promote it, and then like the first week I was like, oh sweet, I don't have to do anything. I'm just gonna sit back and chill.
I know. That is the dream, to be like no press.
Yeah. It's I thought I was gonna have to do it all, and it, whatever. But I always say people ask me, they'll be like what should I do for like my podcast? I'm like, dude, here's what you got to do. I was like, just get a co-host to become supremely famous, and I was like, that'll work for sure. That's what you do.
You got to be like an agent now. You're like, I think that guy's got the goods right there. Yeah.
True. But yeah, people, it's funny when they always get like really disheartened when I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to tell you, man. I'm like, you just find someone who's super famous.
You're holding up your end though.
Yeah, well, thank you, man.
Yeah,
thank you. But yeah, it is. I don't know, man. It's just people get spun out, man. Entertainment's the only like job I've ever seen where people make like as much as a doctor, and they're like, I'm a fucking loser. And you're like, dude, you're killing it, man.
Yeah, but if you saw other doctors like performing an operation, you're like, that guy's getting more likes than me on his operation.
True.
You'd feel like there is that thing about like, and also like we do badly more than like a doctor's like, I'm sure they fuck up sometimes, but like I've had like 3 bombs in a row. If a doctor fucks up 3 times in a row, I'm like, you got to get out.
Just coming home, like I fucking bombed on that brain surgery. I was dead.
It was an easy one. They were good. He was good, and I blew it.
The other doctor went on, he crushed, and I came on and just killed the guy. True, that's a fair point. Yeah, they don't have to deal with metrics.
I think just the comparing. We always compare, and like it's different than it used to be. Like, you know, back in the day, you'd be trying to get something on Comedy Central, and there'd be like one spot. You're like, this is the white dude spot. Mm-hmm. If I don't get this, I suck. And you're like, shit. Then I'm on a lineup with like Norman, Dan Soder, Phil Hanley, all these like killer New York comics, you know, Joe List, and but you know, now it's like it's kind of wide open.
Yeah. No, it's true. Yeah, it does. And it sucks too, because I will say in comedy, the product is your like personality. So people are like, yeah, not for me. You're like, fuck you, dude. It's not like you're just selling insurance. You're like, yeah, I don't really need that right now. It's like, yeah, I saw you. I'm good on you. And you're like, fuck.
Yeah, that's not my act. That's me. They said my name. That's when it would hurt when you're like, they don't just like dislike you, especially when you told you like, oh, I don't just dislike his act. I don't like him.
Yeah, I hate that guy.
Yeah, he sucks.
Yeah, it's a weird. I don't know. It is. It is funny. People like talking about like the internet comments. It's always kind of people are always like, but it is an interesting thing because you do have to deal with like the way you're. I don't know how to put it, but that's the way you're like your body has like cells. There's just like a million comments about you, and you can start getting into them, and it is. I don't know. I think it is funny. It's a fun thing to like. I used to get real whacked out. I'd read them like just like fuck this guy. Fuck who the fuck is this guy? Now I'm like. You never can tell because sometimes it'll be something that actually is accurate, and you're like, "Fuck, that's actually true," and that's painful to realize. Then it's like you get like, "You suck, I love you," and then you get like opposing views that you have to somehow just choose. Like, which one do I actually believe?
I know you're like, "Fuck, I am a dumbass with one eyebrow." He nailed it. Shit. I know. Every once in a while, yeah, but you know. If you believe the good stuff, then you're crazy too.
I know. That's the problem. That's the problem, dude. I don't believe any of it. I just wait till I find something negative and I just feel the sting of that. And I go, that's enough for today. And I just go about my day and I go, fuck.
You got to also, I mean, I know comics who are like, I remember a comic friend of mine got this like great write-up in the New York Times. And I called him like, dude, this is amazing. And he was just like, nah, this is like right before they turn on me. Like he couldn't enjoy it at all. He was like, nah, they're gonna fucking, this is like, they're calling me great. So it's like people are gonna fucking be like, this guy sucks.
Yeah, or they're gonna dig out some skeleton from my past. That'd be, yeah.
I don't think this guy has any skeletons. I think he's like pretty well liked, this guy, but he just like, yeah, I don't know.
Damn, dude. Dude, I was, I did want to talk to you about this. So you know about the Diddy stuff, obviously.
Sure.
Everyone knows
I was
about
there.
that.
It was great.
He sucked my dick. It was awesome. Diddy's now crying that it's unfair that the owner of Abercrombie is not getting as much. He's out on bail while Diddy is not out on bail. And he apparently, I didn't get enough time to look into it, like the details of it. But he was apparently running like a sex trafficking thing in the
I mean,
UK.
You could tell by the stores, right?
Dude, that's what I'm saying.
You just walked in there, you're like, this should not be okay, right? These poor damn employees.
Well, they used to have shirtless teenage boys outside of their store while running I think it was primarily a gay sex trafficking ring. Yeah, which is crazy, dude.
In the open, basically. I mean, I remember walking in there and being like uncomfortable and having to leave.
Yeah, dude. I remember I would like high school girlfriends be like, let's go to Abercrombie. And I'd like walk past like a fucking hot dude with his shirt off. You'd be like, fuck you, dude. Walking, like I'm not buying any of this shit. And it was like,
we were so mean to them, but like looking back, that dude was probably getting railed.
Yeah.
So we were in the wrong.
I thought they were getting a ton of pussy. Turns out, yeah, they were just like blowing old men.
They were the pussy.
They were the pussy. But yeah, it was crazy. That guy is apparently he was running a thing like Diddy, where it's like all kinds of crazy manipulation and deception and sex trafficking and whatever.
But that's the way to do it if you're doing that, because you're like, well, this is so out in the open. You think I would just flaunt it if I were actually do
True.
But then he was, because Diddy was more like, it was more like a VIP vibe. Like you only,
Yeah.
And, of course, someone with all these celebrities, you wouldn't be doing something like this. The word would get out.
Yeah, true.
But, I don't know how it works if they had like NDAs or something there.
I think they just try to get dirt on you. I think that the deal is you try to get dirt on them first, and then you're like, I don't know, because I'd be so nervous. Imagine if you were running like a sex trafficking, like you were imagine if last night you just drugged.
I'm already stressed. I can't imagine. I'm already like, fuck, I feel like shit. I'm on the road. I can't imagine that guilt level where you're just like, fuck, I have a sex trafficking ring.
You you GHB the guy opening for you. You fucked him, and then you fucked like 4 ladies. And you just woke up and you're like, all right, I got to do a meeting for my fucking vodka. It's crazy.
Damn, yeah, what's going to happen to Ciroc?
I think someone else bought it. Yeah, I think someone.
Is it tainted though? Because I did think of Diddy when I think of it.
Yeah, that's what I would think. I would drink Ciroc and have a good time thinking about Diddy having fun times. But now I'm just like, ugh. But no, I think some people try to say that was the whole thing to get him off of the board because they were saying like there were like liquor billionaires who didn't want him. He wasn't like playing ball. It'd be like liquor Ticketmaster being like, you're not playing ball, and they're trying to claim
you're not playing ball. You have a sex trafficking ring. Back in the day in like Hollywood, they would have morality clauses in the contracts for like these young starlets. So they'd be like, a young actress would be like fucking a married guy, and they'd be like, nope, you gotta shut that down. We invested at you here at MGM or whatever.
Yeah.
So, it's like, it's really funny how, back then it was like, infidelity's bad. Now it's like, don't fuck kids.
Yeah, don't please. Yeah,
it's,
please.
it's changed.
It does ruin a brand. The Catholic Church was the only institution that was like, their adherents were like, come on.
It's a branding error.
Every big company has some bad guys.
Subway. It's lost some luster.
It has.
And they could have gone with that Clay Henry guy. Remember Clay Henry back in the day?
No, who was that?
He was the other one. It was like Jared and Clay Henry. They brought in like a 1B character.
Yeah.
Like he got real big on burgers and fries, but now he's down to a smaller size.
So they
Clay
brought
Henry.
another guy in.
Yeah, he was a fireman too. Like he could have made them. He could have made him look good.
Loved his wife.
He was probably a good guy. But then, yeah, they went Jared. I mean, and look, we can't deny Jared had an impact.
He had the sauce.
In the story of just walking and eating, he's like, I walked to Subway and I ate sandwiches and I lost. And you're like, that's not true, but we all bought it because we were idiots.
I know. Oh, when he pulls those pants out, you're like, who can argue with that? That guy's pants were so much bigger. He was just circling school zones. A shark, dude.
That's how he lost the weight. Yeah. Just getting his cardio and going from one kindergarten to the other.
Did you see the documentary about him?
I haven't. Is it good?
It is. It's amazing.
I gotta watch it.
It is, dude. He was way more sinister than you think. Like he apparently. So the reason that the whole story broke, he went to a school assembly. He was going to assemblies in schools, and like at the height of his, prime or whatever. And he would talk to kids
like he's Barry Sanders in his prime.
But he was in a school auditorium, and he was with a lady who was the local news lady. And they did like a little speech. He was like, kids, you got to eat healthy, blah, blah, blah. And she was doing her thing. And then they went and sat down. He goes, God damn it, I'd love to fuck one of these kids. Just to the lady. And she was like, what? What? This is all according to her. She was the one who broke the story. And then that
was a heat check moment for him. He was like, man, I'm getting away with this for so long. Let me see. Because that's what they do. They like try. It's like serial killer shit where they'll go back to the scene of the crime. It's like that cockiness of getting away with it.
I mean, dude, yes, for sure. But it was like, it's such a weird thing to do because then I guess he was putting a feeler out for her because then this is where it's kind of suspect for her, but she was a journalist, so she was like, I want to kind of get, this is a huge story if this guy potentially really wants to fuck kids, or if he's just like fucking around and is the funniest guy ever to like just step down and like, I don't want to fuck one of these kids. But then she started like pretending to be his girlfriend, and they just drew all
this stuff out of him.
Get stuff out of him. And I don't think she ever said she had sex with him, but she would be like, they would have like phone sex where she'd be like, what were you talking about? And he was like, I just think I want to fuck kid. And he like admitted to doing it. And like his manager and him were fucking kid. Like, and then like it all culminates and she's having.
Okay, imagine finding you have that in common with your manager. That's such a weird. Because I was like, pump my agent's a Knicks fan. But like, I mean, you're like, you're into that? Like, that's fucking great.
Yeah, it's a funny icebreaker to like see kids like, man, they say the funniest things. You see the switch on that kid actually? Like, yo, bro, I was actually gonna bring it up. You do really have to ease into that. Like, that's a good looking kid. Like, yeah, the kid's cute.
Yeah,
like,
if you were into that, you're like,
kid's really cute. And you're like, I think that kid's really cute too. And you just eventually you're like, I'm so glad we met.
We should hang, yeah.
But dude, it all culminates in she has a birthday party for her own kids and uses them as bait.
Yeah.
And she's like, my kid's coming. I'm so into this. Oh my God, and he's like, I'm gonna come fuck your kid at the birthday party. And she's like, sweet, perfect. And she's working with.
So she has a kid.
Yes, I think she had like 2, and she was using them as bait, and she even went to the FBI.
He was using her for these kids. Worked both ways.
True, it's quid pro quo.
Yeah.
But she like went to the FBI like, dude, I have this guy on tape saying he fucks kids, and they're like, that's illegal. You're not allowed to record him like that. And that's why they set up the birthday party, and she had like a wire on it and everything. She's like, he was like basically wanted a kid, which is monstrous on the kid's birthday, to be like, I'm gonna come to his birthday party after he opens his presents, and I'm gonna smash. And it was like, damn, bro.
That is a bad birthday.
That is a bad birthday. That's a bad man. And then,
damn.
But eventually, like, he kind of gets cold feet, but then they get him anyway. He, like, cops to the crime. He, like, dude, he was a monster, dude.
Crazy.
Yeah, he was that bad. He claimed it was because he lost so much weight that then his appetite for food just, like, transferred to kids. That was his claim. He was like, it's not my fault.
Yeah.
When you lose weight like I did, you become hypersexual. And he's like, I just wanted to start fucking kids. Like,
damn, so Subway really is bad.
Yeah, Subway.
I mean, you're like, yeah.
He should have been blaming it on the hoagies. I'm like, those are fucking hoagies, dude. I never wanted to fuck
that
kids.
Bread, dude.
Bread fucked me.
That's not real bread. I knew Subway wasn't to be trusted when they claimed that was avocado, dude.
True.
That was, that's not avocado.
Yeah, it made me want to fuck. Yeah, but dude, he got, I like explained that documentary at like a like someone brought it up like jokingly, and I'm like, you know the real story that I gave like, and they were like, people's wives were like, dude, please stop. I don't want to talk about this kid getting just battened down at his birthday party.
It is tough when you bring that to you gotta know the audience for that.
I know. It was like a nice campfire setting. We're all like sitting around. People were having like sangria, and I was like, he was gonna fuck a kid at his birthday party. And they were like, all right, that's enough of that. I was like, I'm sorry,
but it's tough because it's been pushed into the mainstream. Like it is a Netflix thing or HBO, whatever. It was, yeah. And so it is tough when you're like, you're just hanging out at like a nice little party. You got a skewer in your hand. You're like, John Benet Ramsey. You see that? It's crazy.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it has been pushed in. Like the heinous murders they're like great. That stuff never ends. Heinous murder footage is like, people love that.
It's endless. I mean, the CEO from fucking United Healthcare. You saw that yesterday.
Dude, what happened with that?
I mean, a guy with a silencer. Talk about bad branding. They got him in Starbucks right before.
What?
Yeah, they got him on camera in Starbucks ordering a coffee.
Yeah, true. What did he get?
I don't know. Definitely not tea.
Yeah, no.
Not a tea drinker. You need some caffeine to pull out an execution.
Yeah, it's like a caramel macchiato. Or maybe a refresher. Maybe he got like a watermelon citrus refresher. Just carried out he went to Starbucks before he murdered him?
Yeah, that's run with that if you're Duncan.
True.
Run with that story. Like, hey, we don't
sell shit to guys like that.
We don't like that. It's bad stuff.
That would be funny to just call it like murder juice. Like, yeah, get your murder. We don't sell murder.
Well, they had the murder ball, remember? Or the medicine ball. I'm fucking it up. That was, by the way, we're such idiots. We're like, it's a secret menu thing. The medicine ball when you're sick.
What is it?
It's just sugar. It's just like probably awful for you when you're sick, but it's like tart enough that you're like, it's helping my throat.
Wait, Starbucks has a secret medicinal beverage?
Yeah, it's called the medicine. Is it in the medicine ball?
They don't call it that anymore.
What do they call it now?
Something herbal something.
but it's just like lemonade and a shitload of honey, and it's probably just an insane amount of sugar, and you think it's helping because of all the honey, but it doesn't do shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna go puke on a Starbucks counter and be like, I need the medicine ball.
It's yeah, you got to be pissed if you're Howard Schultz.
Bad for Starbucks. I mean, they had their scandal. I think like 3 years ago, they like kicked a black guy out of there.
Oof.
Yeah, Starbucks, the employee kicked the black. He didn't buy anything. He was having a business meeting. Talking business, and
But they never kick anyone. It's a joke.
I know, it was pretty nuts.
That feels personal.
It does feel personal.
I go in there all the time to pee, and I don't get anything.
I'm in there. You're in there. You're trying to sign someone up to a pyramid scheme. And like, get the fuck out of here. Let me tell you about a business opportunity. And they fucking kicked him out, and it was like a huge deal. It was in Philly.
Damn.
That Starbucks came under massive fire, and they had to come out and be like, the CEO has to come out and be like, we don't like that at all.
It's so stupid too, because they did that thing years ago at Starbucks where they're like, let's have a talk about race. Mm-hmm. Remember that ad campaign they did? And we're like, what are you doing?
Because they kicked out a black guy. They had to do it.
That's so stupid.
And now they have murderers. Yeah, that's what happens. They're like, oh, they're kicking out black guys? I'm going to get a coffee before I murder someone here. This is a perfect place for me.
Coffee it really is great.
Drinking a coffee and murdering somebody would be pretty sick.
Yeah.
I think it would be pretty nice. You see like heart rates pouncing as you go away. You're like, God damn it, I shouldn't have had that second shot of espresso. That was too much. That was way too much, dude.
Yeah, I'm freaking out. No, I feel like just murdering someone would wake you up, though.
True.
That would probably get your heart rate up. I also think, I was a little annoyed that New York's getting bad PR. They're like, told you New York's dangerous. I'm like, oh, we have to answer for this fucking psychopath?
Yeah.
I don't know where he's from.
Yeah, and that's also not like, that's like a weird high-level hitman crime.
That's what they say, but then it doesn't look that professional because they found him on camera. And if you're a high-level hitman, you're not going to Starbucks before.
True. That's
a weird move.
True. Apple Pay. Right. No, yeah, when I say high-level, I mean just like killing a CEO is like a high-level murder. You would think there was like some powerful interest behind it, or maybe it was just a psycho attacking. I don't even know that guy.
Who knows? I mean, it could be a guy who's fucked over more than a health insurance company. I mean, it's like, I feel like that's why Joker resonated with so many people, because in the beginning, he's getting fucked over by his insurance. So you're like, all right, whatever he does is kind of fine.
That's true. No, that's true. You get a surgery the day before, your thing lapses, and you got to pay fucking $90 million. You're like, you motherfucker.
We've all been on hold with an insurance company. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's where you lose it.
True.
Because, they always, I mean, and also it's like, it's a tough, that's a job I would not want. CEO, you're making a shitload of money at the expense of a lot of people who are suffering.
Yeah. And that's the whole point of insurance. You're taking in more money than you're paying out. So you have to try to pay out as little as possible.
And it does feel like they're trying to fuck you sometimes.
They are. That they have to.
Yeah.
Their whole thing has to be, a lot of those places are like, they have like research about this. There's just like 40% or whatever of people, if you're just like, yeah, sorry, no, they'll just be like, well, I guess I'm fucked then. And then there's like another percentage of people who will actively follow up, but then you can be like, well, all right, we're going to sue you. And like, all right, I'm not doing that. So there's like only a small percentage of people will like know the steps to be like, oh, I got to get a lawyer now. Like nobody thinks about that or like can afford a lawyer.
And it's exhausting. They tire you out. If you're sick, you don't want to deal with making all these phone calls anyway. I mean, I think about all the time the ways they pretend they're hooking you up. I was at a dermatologist once and like, your insurance covers you like a free chemical peel. And I was like, why the fuck would I want a chemical peel? And they're like, well, you get it for free. And I was like, maybe I want one.
Yeah, maybe I'll take that.
It's free. But then they didn't cover the fucking medication I needed.
What?
So it's like they cover shit you don't need. It's like they know how to fuck you, is my point.
Yeah, they do. They're very good. Again, it's the whole point of their operation is to take in more money and pay out less. And they're supposed to pay you out if bad things happen. But the way they can make more money is to not pay you out. And then if you don't know the steps, it's like, yeah, that guy's fucked.
This feels political now. We're like standing back and we're just agreeing.
I'm telling you, we are, right? Well, that's a great point.
It's crazy.
That's a great point. I actually agree with that.
We do have to do something about these healthcare companies.
True. But that one guy, he did it.
Not that much.
Yeah, that's too much. That was too damn much. Guys.
A silencer, too, is like, it also makes you realize how desensitized
it's pretty pro hitman, dude. Silencer, too.
But you could just buy a silencer.
Can you?
I'm sure somewhere.
In
America, you're telling me you can't?
Yeah, true.
It's not that hard to get a gun here.
I thought they were. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess silencers aren't that illegal.
I don't know.
I mean, they have to be illegal. You can't wear a bulletproof vest. If a cop sees you in a bulletproof vest, you can get like they can stop you. Like, what the fuck?
I feel like if you're a CEO of a health insurance company, you should get to wear a bulletproof vest for a while, like a little while.
That's how they say that's the best way to get away with killing somebody is opening the door, and as soon as they open, just blast them and walk away. Because you don't enter the house, you don't leave DNA evidence. But all the cities now are gridded with cameras. Like, you really can't do that.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, we're like close to living in like a Minority Report type of world where, you know, it's like, how are you? It's amazing when people get away with murder. Like, that's why that John Bonet thing was so shocking. You know, it's like, in my head, I was like, well, I wonder who did it. I forgot they didn't solve it.
Oh, yeah, they didn't, did they? They
didn't solve it. It's so shocking. You watch Forensic Files. I like the ones where they solve it, too. I don't like the true crime where they're just like, unsolved murders. It's so unsatisfying. You're like, there's a piece of shit who got away. But then you watch Forensic Files and they're like, thanks to DNA, we caught this guy.
Got him every time. Yeah. Also, too, whenever I watch that, they don't catch the guy. I'm like, he's definitely right outside my house right now. Fucking rape me, kill me. He's gonna kill me.
I used to watch those. They'd be marathoning them on the road on like headline news and just be like 40 Forensic Files on the road. I'd be watching, you know, in some fucking motel on the side of the highway, just like opening my, like, oh, fuck, why am I doing this to myself? Opening that dumb little curtain, you see meth heads.
Yeah, I still get scared. I get scared in hotels all the time. I'm
really?
Like, yeah, like I'll just hear like someone else's door bang and I'm half asleep and I'm like, someone's in my room. And I just like, I look around. I'm like, dude, you're such a fucking pussy.
I was leaving a hotel in Omaha a couple years ago and there was a guy, it was like 4 a.m. early flight, you know, it's like a 6 a.m. flight out. And there was a guy just sitting on the floor in the hallway, just like crying. Oh. And I was like, you just don't want to even see. You just like something bad happened.
No, man. Yeah, you don't want to see that at all. That sucks. Would you just walk right by, just wheel your
Of course. I'm not dealing with that guy. Do you think I'm going to chat him? What happened, buddy? Best case scenario, there's a dead hooker in that room. Something bad happened.
Yeah, true. Oh, God.
Or a live one, and I don't know. Something bad happened, though.
Yeah, also I was like, go in your room, dude. Don't fucking, that's what they're for. Go cry like everyone else does in your hotel room. Don't sit in the hallway.
I know. The public crying is, and in New York, I don't mind it as much because that city's supposed to break you. But when you see it in like a smaller town, you're kind of like, something sinister just occurred.
Oh, my. Yeah, true. Yeah. Oh, man.
Oh, man. Ryan Hamilton, my friend, has a joke. It was like, New York's the only city where you just see people openly weeping.
Do you see it a lot there?
Yeah.
I could see that. I
guess other cities. I guess Philly too.
Nah, yeah.
Boston. I think big cities you'll see it.
I did a month sublet in New York because I like thought about moving there like a long time ago, and I was like, man, get the fuck out of here. I went right back to Philadelphia. I was
really?
Like, oh my, I couldn't do it.
But the Philly to Austin is an interesting move because it's such a different pace, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, for me, I had kids, and once like when I had the kids, I'm like, I wanted to get out of Philly anyway. And then I was like thinking about moving to like the outside of Philly suburbs. I had this like it would have been a bad plan. I was looking at this like plot of land that turned out to be like a floodplain. It was bad. And I was like, I'd be an hour from every airport. And like, there was no way I could do stand up there. I was like, I'll make it work. And then I was talking to Shane. He's like, you want to go to Austin? I was like, yes, please. That would solve all my problems. Thank you. That'd be the best thing ever. Because that way it's like a decent quality of life and for like kids and stuff. And you can just do stand up every night if you want.
Yeah, the club is good, man. The mothership's cool.
It is good.
It's a motherfucking good ship. It makes me a little nervous how many people are always there. I don't like to, because I want to do new stuff, and I don't want to just like, you see these people every few months from me because I'm visiting. I'm like, I don't want them to see me bombing. Yeah.
It is.
I like to bomb in the shadows.
It's true. It is an intimidating green room too. And it's like, it's just that long oak table. And there's 40 fucking people, and it's like, yeah, I was silent for the first like 5 months. I would just sit there and just be like, ugh.
It's hardcore. It's like a weird health movement, but also everyone's smoking cigarettes in there.
I know.
I did the smelling salts.
I don't understand why.
I don't know why I did it. Rogan's like, oh yeah, they're good. They'll help you. No one tells me not to put them right to my face. I thought I was dying because I've had allergic reactions before, and I was like, and Joe's like, he's like, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm like, God, I'm such a pussy.
No, it's ammonia. That's right. Your body you're just smelling ammonia, and I don't know why everybody does it.
I think I saw Josh Allen or some football player do it on TV, and I was like, oh, I should fucking get me jazzed up for a set. And then I tried it, and I was like, yeah, if you're like a pro athlete, it seems kind of cool, but I'm not. I'm a whiny fuck who just was like, ugh.
There's better ways to get lightheaded. It's all. Getting lightheaded is cool, but it's like I don't understand. I see dudes back there just ripping them, and I'm like, dude, you guys just telling me you love smelling ammonia like that. Like, just fucking drink some coffee. Do anything else.
Coffee's the move.
Yeah, do anything.
I saw a bartender once say to someone, she goes, do you have any Red Bull? He goes, we don't carry Red Bull. You want caffeine buzz? We'll give you coffee. And I was like, wow, the way he said it was so cool.
Oh, shit.
I think about it all the time.
Just keeping the caffeine buzz.
Yeah, he's like, fuck Red Bull.
Bullshit out of my fucking face. I drank a Rockstar last year because I was like tired, and I was like, I was at the Super Bowl with Shane. And I was like, I don't drink that much, so I was like hungover from the day before. I'm a total pussy.
With him, it's impossible not to be hungover.
Dude, I was dying.
You can't be a casual drinker around Shane. You can't have, you either are sober or you have 14. You can't have two.
There's no middle ground.
Yeah.
That night I had a lot, and the next day I'm just struggling. I'm like, ugh. So I was like, let me get a Rockstar. Dude, I felt like I was on meth. I drank like half a Rockstar, and I was like, I gotta go home, guys. And I was like laid in my hotel room, like, ugh. I felt terrible.
Oh, dude, I hate them.
I wish somebody stopped me and said, do you want a fucking caffeine buzz? Have a coffee. There's shit in that stuff. I don't know what it is.
Even gas station coffee I like. I just like coffee. I like the ritual of the coffee, the energy drinks. I remember drinking, when you're a young comic, barking and stuff. It was, I need energy. I'll drink a 7-hour energy. And I'm like, even then you're like, we haven't heard from them in a while. Lord knows what the fuck was in that shit.
Oh, yeah. The 5-hour where they do the shot real quick.
But then it turned into like 7-hour.
Oh, really?
It was like that something about Mary scene where he's like 6-minute abs, and he's just like, what if someone did 5? And he's like, no. But they went the other way.
Damn, they bumped up 7-minute energy.
Yeah, that shit. I think it was 7. Wasn't it 7-hour energy? I think they kept bumping it up.
It makes sense. It's also it is funny to just like the term energy just got like appropriated into being like you're just like hitting yourself with stimulants. It's like, no, I have energy right now. It's like, no, dude, your fucking brain's wired on stimulants.
Yeah, well, I was listening to your podcast where you're talking about just sleep and how important sleep is, and you're like, oh my god, we'll do anything but the thing we're supposed to do.
I know.
Sleep is the thing.
Dude, I fought it for a long time because I would get into coffee. I'm like super sensitive to caffeine, so if I drink caffeine in the morning, I for real have 7-hour energy. I'm like,
but do you take naps during the day ever?
If I drink caffeine, I can't take naps. Same. So what I try to do, I like just white knuckle through a morning. Then I won't have coffee, but I will take a nap in the middle of the day, and it's like, dude, you feel so good.
I've never been able to do it.
Oh, I love it. Dude.
I can't. Sometimes I'll be so tired that I just fall asleep early or something, but like I can't nap. I drink too much caffeine.
That's the problem. If I have caffeine, no nap, or I'll take a fucked up nap where I wake up like, oh fuck. But it's like, yeah.
How about the melatonin stuff? I hate that shit.
Dude, I tried it, and then someone told me it shrinks your balls, and I'm like,
really?
They hit me with the yellow 5. They're like, yo, you hear that stuff shrinks your balls, and I was like, nah, I'm not doing it. So I was taking it on the road.
Why does it shrink your balls?
I don't know. Andrew Huberman said it. Someone said that Andrew Huberman said that, and I was like, all right, fair enough. I'm not fucking, he's got to be right. He's got to know about that.
He seems like he knows a lot of stuff.
He's using them, bro. So he's got to know. He's using his balls a lot, so that guy knows. He's keyed in on the fucking ball research.
Yeah, the melatonin gives you nightmares. I feel like
Yeah, you get. I would take it. I started fucking around with it on the road because I'd be like, I'd be in different time zones, and I get off stage, and as soon as I get back to my room, just swallow melatonin, wishing it was just cyanide, just right in my throat, and I would like sit there and read a book, and all of a sudden you do get like really heavy.
Yeah.
Have you ever taken it before?
Melatonin?
Yeah.
I have like a powder, this stuff I try sometimes called Beam, and it's like, it's got all kinds, it's got magnesium, all this stuff.
Podcast sponsor.
Yeah, they sent it to me, and they sponsored the pod.
I had it too.
And I was like, I started buying it because I was like, get me some more of that. They're like, they pulled their sponsorship. I was like, fuck it, I'll buy it like an adult.
Strung out like Elvis, dude.
Yeah. But Yeah, no, but I would get nightmares. I would wake up like sweating, like, what the fuck? I have nightmares every night, and I'd be like, that can't be good sleep.
No, yeah. I took it one time, like, I was like, I'll just take it at like fucking 6 p.m., just get like ready for this sleep. I didn't realize how hard that shit hits you. I did the same thing, the bean powder. And I was like getting something for my kid, and I was like, what the fuck? And it just like hit me out of nowhere, and I was like, oh shit. But yeah, it does. The melatonin works, but yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, it's just.
But does it work? Because they're like, we're not feeling refreshed, right?
Yeah, I was like tracking. I was like psycho tracking my sleep at the time, and I would get like more deep sleep from it. But yeah, but it's like addictive, dude. Then like next thing you know, every night I'm like, I should take a little melatonin tonight, and I was just like, but I've heard that it's not when they say like 2-3 milligrams, 5 milligrams, it could be like anywhere from like 25 to 1. Like it's way off.
How the fuck do they get away with that?
I don't know. It's like, who the hell's going back and forth and like analyzing it? So, and they could say like these products in like tiny print, like may or may, but I've heard that. That's also from the Hughes.
Hate tiny print.
I know, it's fucking.
So they fuck you.
It's fucking bullshit. But yeah,
fuck you every
apparently
time.
Hughes is way against the melatonin. And then I heard the thing about like being 20 milligrams. I'm like, whatever. And he's like, it shrinks your balls. I'm like, that's. Say less, brother.
Are smaller balls that bad though? Who cares?
Yeah, but you don't want to get them shrunken. That's the problem. It's like, what the fuck? It just anything that can shrink your ball. It isn't that big of a problem when you think about it. But like, just having them shrunken.
Hey, your dick's looking a little bigger.
That's
true.
That's actually
there's some stuff going on.
You're sleeping great.
You're sleeping well.
Yeah, it's not a bad point.
But there is something about them being. It feels less manly, I guess. Big balls is a good thing. That's what they say.
Yeah, exactly. And there's something about it, something you're eating, shrinking your ball. Like, dude, the yellow 5, as soon as I found out about that, I was terrified back in the day. Like, yeah, you know that shit.
What's the yellow 5?
Never heard yellow 5 shrinks your balls?
What's that?
It's just a food dye. It's like the yellow 5 food dye. Or whatever the fuck it was called. But they were like,
you're best off just eating as naturally as possible. Like, that's the thing. Like when you travel for work and you're waking up at weird hours, like you're eating weird.
Yeah.
You're sleeping badly. Like it just adds up.
Usually shitting, not the best either.
Ooh, a bad gas station shit. There's something about that where you're like, all right, there's something dark.
Yeah, especially the worse the bathroom looks too. Just shitting in it, you're just like, dude, how did I get here? This is terrible. Someone definitely just shot up.
Oh, everything's like a little less healthy when you go. Like in New York, you can eat pretty healthy, but then the diner's been destroyed in New York because the rent is so damn expensive. So you're like, did I just spend $22 on 3 scrambled eggs?
I know,
it's insane. But then you go on the road, and just the little things that you don't think about, where you're like, all right, they put like a fucking bucket of butter on my toast.
Yeah,
this is like the hash brown's a little crispier. Everything tastes great, but you're like, man, I don't have the energy I had after this meal that I normally have.
No, dude, I'm almost pre-diabetic now. I was traveling a lot, eating out. I thought I was pretty healthy.
You look healthy. You look like a gym guy.
Dude, I was working out and everything, but I was eating so much food when I was like, it's like, dude, I'm like getting in the restaurant.
Because you need something. You need a win on the road. Sometimes you have a bad set or something, or you're like, just like the anxiety.
You need to do I need to do something somewhat self-destructive, and it's like
and you don't drink, and you don't do drugs. I don't really drink,
and I have not cheated on my wife, so I'm like I'm left with nothing but overeating. So I'm like, well, I have to overeat, so I would just pig out, and I can't.
That's for all the vices you have though, as long as you don't go diabetic, but like. That's not the worst vice.
Well, now I get to reverse it. Now I get to have a health journey where I can be like, guys, I was at 5.7 A1C. Now I'm going to try to get down. I kind of was happy to learn about that. I was like, oh, cool. This is like a cool thing now.
It's another chapter.
Yeah, exactly. It's like something I can do. And if I can actually get it down under control, that'll be kind of fun to be like, I got mine down. 5.7 is the beginning range of pre-diabetes. Like I'm at the door. I'm on the doorstep.
Damn.
My dad has type 2 diabetes. I know I have.
Your dad is type 2?
Oh yeah.
Is he overweight or no?
He's like lost. Yeah, he's got like a beer belly, but he also like, dude, I worked with him for a while, and he was demolition, and we would, on the way home from work, he would drink a milkshake every day. Yeah, that's how he rocked. It was like 4 soft pretzels and a milkshake every day on the way home. And I'm like, dude, I'm just eating too much rice. How the fuck am I pre-diabetic? This is bullshit. This is fucking nonsense.
A milkshake? I haven't had one of those in fucking forever.
Dude, I've never seen anyone do that, because we were doing a thing where you burn steel, and it was forget that galvanized steel. So it's coated in zinc, which like, I don't know, protects it against rust or something. So when you burn the steel, there was this thing, they'd be like, yeah, you got to get your calcium. So it's like calcium somehow traps zinc. This was all like.
So that turned into a milkshake.
Yeah. Then he was like, we need milkshakes. It's like, so we can stay
This
healthy.
will help. McFlurries will help us if we. I think the last time I had one, we had Bill Burr on our podcast, and it's a drinking pod. So we were like, Norman's like, he doesn't drink. We should do. He likes milkshakes, and I'm like, all right. So we're like, we got to get Bill Burr in a good mood. So it was like milkshakes and cigars was the trick.
That's kind of nice, actually.
And it was a fucking great combo.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I mean, of course, two nice things. Of course, they but they don't always work together,
They never. I don't think anyone besides my dad actually does milkshakes and a cigar.
It was nice.
It is awesome. How do you like that?
He was in a good mood.
Nice.
We were. He, you just don't want to rattle him. He's Bill Burr, so
yeah.
But at first, we were like, he was like, this time to this time, I have a heart out, like whatever you need.
Yeah.
We had a friend waiting in the hallway to do the next episode, and then at 4:15, his out was 4. We were like, we got to get out of here, right? He's like, no, I don't. He's just like hanging out. We're like, all right. I got a text from Mateo Lane, like, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's Bill Burr,
Yeah, that would suck. Just absolutely drawing his ire and just having him just being like, "Fuck you,
You
Bill,
fucking asshole."
how's your milkshake, Bill? I just wanted you to have fun.
If you want to piss him off, just tell him the Patriots Super Bowl doesn't count, where Marshawn Lynch should have run it.
That's a good point.
He screamed at me for like 15 minutes straight.
Really?
Yeah.
You could get him on the vax too. He's super freaked out on the vax. That'd be fun. But you got a fucking vax. That would
piss him off.
Yeah, that would get anybody.
I'm not looking to piss him off.
No, I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
I would never call him Bill Feisber. Piss him off. But no, I would not want that guy on my ass. That would suck.
No.
You know what we could all use a little more of? Getting off asses. They didn't fucking fix that typo, dude. They had the same typo last week. Getting off asses. Forgot to put getting off our asses. Fuck! Fix a typo! With bold flavors and a crisp, refreshing citrus kick, Mountain Dew gives you that extra push to get moving and feel like you're on top of the world. A world where the sun's always shining and your crew's ready for action. And unforgettable adventures are just around the corner. Call out your favorite flavor. Still classic. I'm going classic right now. Code Red sometimes if I'm getting freaky, but right now just getting the Mountain Dew Classic. Verbiage to use. Great tasting, refreshing, has the citrus kick, variety of flavors, bold flavors, helps you connect with others, is a treat, helps you celebrate, helps you express yourself, helps you take a break. Are you guys not convinced yet? You just read all those fucking words? Helps you connect with others and express yourself. Talk about what game and activity you play with friends. Dudes, look. Yeah, I've told you guys 100 times. I don't know why I got to keep talking about what I do. That's my personal life, what I do with my friends when we drink Mountain Dew. But lately, guys, we play a lot of games, but lately we've just been skipping all the games and just straight up hooking up, all right? I'll be honest. Me and my friends have been hooking up after we drink Mountain Dew. The mountain is calling and you should answer. Grab your friends, grab a nice cold Mountain Dew wherever refreshing beverages are sold, and do the fucking do. All right. Does Blue Chew work? If you're asking that question, we want you to know that Blue Chew is putting their money where their mouth is by giving you a month free. Blue Chew is an online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but at a fraction of the cost and in a chewable form. The process is simple. Sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. Blue Chew tablets are made in the USA and prepared and shipped directly to your door. The best part? It's all done online. That means no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. You can take them anytime, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises, like a job interview. Again, guys, they want a personal endorsement. I haven't taken them. My dick gets hard as fucking hell, but I'll let you guys know if I start to hate my wife to the point where my penis doesn't work. Right now, I love her, and my penis gets hard for her when I see her naked vagina. Blue Chew wants you to have the confidence to perform at your best, so discover your options at BlueChew.com verbatim. Blue Chew wants men rock hard. They told me. That's the mission. They will not stop until every man is bricked up like a brick house, till every tent is pitched, till every rod is raised. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. And we've got a special deal for our audience. Try Blue Chew free. Just pay $5 at checkout when you visit BlueChew.com. Well, $5 shipping, so sorry, that'll throw you guys off. You can try Blue Chew for free. You just got to pay to get the Blue Chew to your house when you visit BlueChew.com. That's BlueChew.com to receive your first month free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 200 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. Make your holidays bigger and brighter with Prize Picks, the best place to get real money action while watching your favorite sports. You can now win up to 200 times your money on Prize Picks. Join now because this holiday season, Prize Picks is giving away 2 free picks in December. And they're giving away $30+ million in rewards during Picksmas. Damn, I hate they made me say Picksmas. Think James Cook will get more than 60 yards next week? Ooh. Or Joe Burrow pass more than 1.5 TDs? Wow, I didn't think about Joe Burrow doing that many TDs. Cook up hot takes with your friends and win real money this football season when you and your crew run your game on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best way to win real money this football season. Which players are going off? Which ones aren't? Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your sports opinions into real money all season long on Prize Picks. I mean, guys, how nice is that? Just getting in on real money sports action. I mean, I just love thinking about James Cook and Joe Burrow doing 60 yards and 1.5 TDs. I can turn that opinion into real money on real sports action. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code DRENCHED to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code DRENCHED on the Prize Picks app to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. The holidays are about connecting with loved ones, and there's no better way to do that than with a digital picture frame from Aura. Wirecutter called it the best digital photo frame. That's so fucking crazy at the Wirecutter nod. And it's easy to see why. You can upload your favorite pics of family to one frame and relive all those happy moments again. Or share the big news, like a new edition maybe? What pictures do you and your family love sharing? It could be cute selfies, vacation pics, or funny photos. I mean, that is really nice. I love the show. I try to get dressed up really cute and show my wife and say, hey, check me out. Do you want to suck me or fucking what? Who are you going to give this gift frame to? Definitely my mom. I'm going to give this gift to my mommy. And if that's not personal enough, you can even upload a video message to play on the frames as soon as they plug it in. So the first thing they hear is your voice and how much you love them, or the ISIS beheading video you want to send your mom. Save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver mat frames by using promo code MSSP at checkout. That's AURA frames.com, promo code MSSP. This deal is exclusive to listeners, so get yours now in time for the holidays. Terms and conditions do apply. That would fucking suck. Dude, you were talking about bathrooms. I read a thing today saying they're saying you got to check. If you're at like a public bathroom, you got to open the thing and look into the toilet roll because people using using like needles for drugs, heroin or whatever. God. Are taking their syringe and just like sticking it using that paper towel roll to like clean off the needle. And he showed a picture and it was just like little poke holes with just blood, like little blood spots everywhere.
That sucks because you already don't want to shit in a public restroom.
I know, dude.
And now you got to worry about a needle.
Dude, yeah, for real. And I don't know why the guy was like, women should be more concerned than men. It's like, all right, I'll take it. But it's like, yeah.
No, I'm not thrilled either. What the hell?
But it's like, dude, yeah. So I don't know what the rationale. Maybe vaginas absorb. I don't know. But it's like,
Well, I'm doing the tour bus for the whole thing, so it's a lot of public restroom shitting.
yeah,
Because you're like, you can't poop on that bus.
yeah, exactly.
You're not allowed to. So next day, either the rec center, we go play a little ball, or we,
That's kind of nice.
go to get, you poop there, or
Check.
you poop at there.
Yeah, open the thing and just look. Even if you don't see blood, but if you see little poke holes, that means people were cleaning their needles off in the. And maybe it's some internet bullshit, but I saw the picture. I was like, that actually does make sense.
It bugs me too that these like heroin addicts are like worried about germs.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, like fuck, just do heroin, you
be
fucking pussy.
Be a man. Also, yeah,
Yeah.
it's like you're worried about germs. You're taking toilet paper, roll. I'm like, let me clean this off.
Yeah, that annoys me.
Yeah, it was funny in Philly when they gave like there's like I'm sure you've seen the thing of like Kensington Avenue where it's like just K&A and there's guys like everyone's standing outside. Did you ever see like that shit on YouTube?
What is that?
In Kensington Ave in Philadelphia, it's like one of the biggest heroin markets, like I think in the country. It's like Skid Row. It's not as big as Skid Row, but it is just the people outside, tents, like zombified, standing out there.
It'll shock you. This country, man, like every downtown now has that.
Yeah. Except for Irvine. I was just in Irvine recently. They have 0 homeless people.
They got rid of them all.
They do.
Yeah.
In Irvine, they offer you a bed, and if you say no to the bed, they put you on a bus, and they're like out of here to LA. I swear that's their policy.
Yeah, Rudy Giuliani did that back in the day in New York.
Did he really?
Yeah, they got rid of the homeless people.
What they gave
Sent them on a train.
to where?
I think to the West Coast.
Damn.
So he probably sent them to Irvine, and then they were like, "You go back that way."
Get the fuck
That's probably what happened. Yeah, no, that's even in like downtown Salt Lake. I was, you're walking by like, holy shit, this is crazy.
Yeah, dude.
Everywhere.
But dude, it's funny in Salt Lake. I was there at a farmer's market like last year, and I was talking to this guy who was like, he was campaigning for mayor. Yeah, I think he had been mayor before and stopped. He's like, they need me back. And I was like, the park was beautiful. I was like, dude, this is awesome here. And he was like, well, yeah, there was homeless people here. And like, they got cleared out right before the farmer's market. And I was kind of hitting him with like, that's what's up. And he was like, no, it's actually an injustice. And this is why I'm running. I was like, oh shit, my bad. I was like, fuck, my bad, dude. He's like, it's really sad. They took the prescription medication and kicked him out. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, but look at these avocados. This is such a nice
I did
market.
hit him with that. I was like, you got to be honest, dude, though. It is way better. I was like, just on a level of just enjoyment. It is kind of sweet that they're not here right now. And he was like, whatever.
He wouldn't give that to you.
He was just kind of he was just kind of like, all right. But I was like, bro, it's nice you're defending them, getting their tents taken up. But I think it'd be sad if I saw that part, but the aftermath is nice.
It is weird too that these tents are being used for that. Like, the guy who designed the tents were like, this is good for camping. You're going to go on a nice thing. And then you just get people with needles like, oh, fuck.
That's true. You would think, the thing about like the love of nature and you're like hunting and living off the land. It is mostly just like emaciated human beings like selling each other for sex and
it sucks, man. And
dying.
It's getting
a lot of dying in them. A lot of people dying in those tents.
It's getting worse, man. You go around. You just find areas where you're like, there are so many people unwell that you're like, it's not going to get better anytime soon.
No, dude. And imagine nobody's getting really born. Is anyone born into homelessness now? Or do they just like, what do they do with you then? I guess they take your kid.
Yeah, I guess. I
didn't think about the
You
homeless
don't see a lot of
babies.
homeless kids on the street.
You don't, just the adults.
Yeah.
I think they take you if they see you as a homeless kid. No Oliver Twist. If they see you as like a young homeless kid, I think they're like, get the fuck out of here.
I would hope.
Because I'm just waiting, because if that becomes like a permanent class in America, that's what I'm kind of like seeing, like where do they go from there?
Yeah, they have a new thing that Demolition Man predicted everything, and it's like the sewer people that might be next. You're like, fuck, all these.
Well, there are people who do live in like little catacombs and under bridges and stuff. And I heard Germany now they have a crack epidemic in Germany. It's crazy. Everything, nothing goes away. They just come back. Now Germans are dealing with like a hard 1980s crack epidemic.
Oh shit! Like
all
it sounds so
rock.
vintage to
I know.
us, but
I know.
to them. Crack in Germany. And that was like the one place in Europe I didn't go, and I was so bummed because I feel like Berlin is supposed to be sick, and I've never. Yeah, I was bummed I couldn't make that one work.
How is stand up in Europe? They all speak English.
Amazing.
Is it fun?
It's funny. My worst set I killed last year in London, and then this time I just was like, I think it was my worst show there. I hit like Belfast, Dublin, Paris wasn't amazing. I mean, the city's amazing. Just like the stand-up is it's whatever. Paris is meh. That's my no. And then what else? Amsterdam, Copenhagen, Stockholm, and Oslo were all incredible.
That blows my mind. They can all like listen to stand-up. I just assume I'm like, there's no way these guys.
You would have a lot of fans over there.
That's crazy.
It's amazing, and they're.
That's nuts.
It's look, some places like blow you away. You're like, wow, I moved more tickets than I expected here, and then some you're like, man, it's a light show, but even the light shows were pretty damn good.
That's awesome. I guess they're pretty happy. They're in another country and like
fucking beautiful.
Yeah, just some fucked up.
But it is funny when you run into a fan on the street that like out of there. I saw a guy in Dublin, and he was like, "Oh my God, you're here!" I was like, "Oh, what's up, man?" And he goes, "Are you doing a show tonight?" And I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, I think there's still a couple tickets available. And he's like, Like I was like, oh, he's not going to come. Like, what are the odds I run into a fan an American fan in another country? And he's like, nah, I'm good.
I know.
I was like, wow, all right,
dude, that's cool. Yeah, that would be cool to be in another country. Like, oh, that's crazy. People are like, hey, man, what's going on? You're like, what the fuck?
They do a double take because they're like, why are you here?
Yeah.
But, it's like, have you done Australia yet?
I did. I opened for Shane in Australia.
It's pretty cool.
It was cool. It's just the flight is fucking brutal,
it fucks you
dude.
up.
It fucks you up for like forever.
The way back fucks you up worse.
Yes.
Like going there, it's like I just drugged myself.
Yeah.
Just a few muscle relaxers, a couple glasses of wine. I'm like, I'm fucking good out. But then on the way back, I was like, I'm bad for like a week.
I was fucked up, dude. I had kids. That was when they were really like even younger. So we did a show the last night, got home at like maybe 2 or 3, woke up at 5 for the airport. I don't think I really even slept. And then I can't really sleep on planes that well. So if I slept on the way back, maybe for an hour or two, and I was awake for the most of it, and then got dropped off at the Newark airport, and then had to drive. This one I was in Philly. I was awake for basically 24 hours and then had to just drive from Newark to Philly.
Oof.
And to my wife, who was like, finally, you're back, all that shit.
Yeah, you don't walk into a happy room there either.
No.
I see that with Gary because, who I tour with, he's got a family and I don't. So I'm seeing he's like, she's like, you didn't FaceTime me. I'm like, oh my God, I'm just fucking...
Dude,
I'm having a lower pressure.
You watching your kids cry through FaceTime while you're in a hotel room while your wife is just like huffing.
Yeah,
it's hell. It's the fucking worst. Like, you're sitting there like, hey guys, trying to tell you, well, maybe you should talk a little nicer. Maybe it's terrible. It's really bad. It's one of the saddest things of like when you travel for stand up. Then eventually, as they get older, it becomes a little better. But like when they're like little and
and you feel powerless.
Oh, you just feel awful, dude. You're like, why am I doing this? This sucks. But then you get it. But then the thing I always tell myself,
it's a good example to work too. For your kids, like you're doing
That's the thing.
You followed your dream and it worked out, and your kids will see that when they grow up, and that's a cool thing too.
Well, that's what I tell my kids. I say, guys, I know you don't like when I go away, but if I were to stay here and do another job, I would kill myself. So do you want me to kill myself? You guys want your father to kill himself? Because it would be your fault.
We got you a babysitter. His name's Jared Fogle.
But it is true. You do have to. There is like, because I'd be like, I should be around more. But I know if I had like a job that I hated, I would just be miserable in the house. So it's like, what's better having, kind of someone who's traveling a little bit and happy in the house, or someone who's there every day, like, ugh.
And you got this going, so you have other things going on. I think you said a good. I hear it more from female comics because I think women are expected to be like the mom should be there. The mom shouldn't be traveling. And I know some female comics who have babies or young kids, and they're just like, Rachel Feinstein's one of my best friends, and she was like, he could go to work like whenever. He could do like all these 24-hour shifts. I leave for like a spot. They treat me like I'm Casey Anthony, So it's like
when the baby's really young, it is like a biological reality that they do need the mom. Like they need the mom more. I mean, you can bottle feed them and stuff like that. But the mother guilt is like 50 million times worse. And you are judged.
You were in there. You were in her.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, there's that.
Yeah. There's a connection. Yeah, it's a real connection. There's actually now I've read in Sweden, man, the headlines really working in my favor today. They're actually applying to everything. But there's a movement now called soft girl. There's like soft girls now they're called. So like there's women who are now rejecting the workforce and being like, no, I'm a soft girl. So you're either a boss. I was like, what is the fuck's it called? It's like
this is in Sweden.
Soft woman. Yeah, they call them soft women because you're either a boss lady or a soft woman. And now there's people embracing the soft woman lifestyle where they're like, yo, work sucks. I'm becoming just like a pure stay-at-home soft woman.
Well, that it would originate in Sweden because they're just so fucking liberal there. So it's like that's where they'll try out. It's like this is what we'll try out, the liberal idea, and if it takes flight, it'll move over to like the other Scandinavian countries, then make its way here. Yeah, but like that's where you debut it.
Well, I think they went. Well, that's more. There's more like liberal boss ladies. If you're like a boss lady was like, I'm gonna kick ass at work. Don't even ask me to do anything around the house. It's fucking bullshit. Blah blah blah. But now there's a lot of women being like, yeah, this kind of sucks having a job. Like it's not as cool as I thought.
Yeah, I think a lot of people they identify as what their job is.
Yeah,
they're like that's how they describe themselves. I'm a this.
Well, my thing is like if you're in a 2-income household and your husband makes enough and you're still working, that's when I start to question. I'm like, dude, it's one thing if you're like running a fucking company, you're a boss lady, but when like women are like, I choose to work, and they're like a team associate for like Verizon. It's like fucking why?
But what if there's like a prenup and the marriage doesn't work out? Then you're kind of just like relying on him forever.
That's true. That's true. Then he can like take your cell phone and like get into there are those guys who do that. Yeah, that makes sense. That does make sense.
I think it's good to have your own thing.
Yeah.
I'm more attracted to women who have their own thing going on.
I like soft girls.
You want a girl who just waits for you?
Waits, yeah. Soft girl. No, I don't care. If a woman works, I don't care. It is I just think there is something like I don't know, man. I do think there's something sad to have it put in a woman's head that like if they're not working, they're somehow like sold out their entire species, and they're like if they're brainwashed. It's like that working sucks too.
Yeah. No, I don't think that way either.
But I hear you. It is nice. I will say there is something nice to.
I just don't like the idea of a woman waiting around for me. She doesn't do anything, and then she's like, "Where have you been?" Like I don't like that energy.
That's totally true. Because
I like her to have other shit like that she's got to deal with. It's good to have other things.
You're right. No, you are right, because I would say that is the downfall of a soft girl, or whatever the fuck they're called. The "where are you" texts increase by 500%. Once you go from a boss lady to a soft girl, it's like there's nothing. They're just dishing off "where are you." Like, where are you?
I swear to God, when you said soft girl, I thought it was going to be like some like a trans like man, but like the penis doesn't work. I really thought because Sweden is so fucking liberal. I was like, it's going to be something like that. But.
Well, dude, there is something. Well, apparently, yeah, Sweden is the most liberal place, and that's why they're kind of like, what the fuck's going on? Because a lot of women now, they're like, all right, we laid the path. Jordan Peterson talks about this. You laid the path for gender equality, and there's like they have more people than ever who are like, fuck that, I'm just gonna stay at home and be a traditional wife, which, whatever. It's just all fads.
But that's also their, that's. I guess it's weird if you had a male friend who would do that. Like, I'm just gonna like hang out. And you're like, all right, because I have a friend like that, and he hits me up for money, and I'm like, dude, just fucking do something.
Do something, yeah.
He's trying.
Is he a soft dad, or is he like?
No,
he's just chill.
He fucked it. He had this woman who like was a hard worker and she like wanted to have a family with him, and he was just like, nah, I'm good. And he's just like a single dude now.
Chill. Oh.
I'm like, dude, you really misplayed your hand here.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting like Venmo requests from him. I'm like, dude, come on.
Come on,
$60. Man. You got to get your life together.
That's true. No, you did make a strong case for a boss lady, because it is true. You do want kind of someone who has their own thing going on, or else they're going to be fucking bugging you.
I just think it's nice. You have another thing. It's just like, it could be anything. It doesn't have to be like a crazy, but just have something else, because you don't. Look at the divorce rate. Nothing. I mean, you hope things work out, but
no, it's about 50. I think we just came down from 50 to like 48%.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's all right.
It's high. It's still pretty fucking high, dude.
But it's
50-50.
There's a reason people are getting less. Why is that?
Wait, getting divorced less?
Yeah, 2% is something, right?
That's pretty good. Yeah.
That's too. You said 48 instead of 50. I thought it was. So it went.
Yeah,
down,
it went
right?
down a little bit. It went down a little bit. It's all geographically.
I think
depends
abortion went down slightly too.
Did it really?
Yeah. Maybe people are just being a little safer. Who knows?
Yeah. I wonder because it's the saddest divorces I've seen are when like people don't even hate each other at the end, when they're just kind of like.
It ran its course.
It's just when two people just like lose all passion for each other and just go like.
Yeah, you think you're gonna have like a season 4 Carmela Tony blowout on The Sopranos, but then at the end you're just like, eh.
Yeah, I've always thought
dead.
I always thought that was the saddest like versions. You hear people like, yeah, we one day looked at each other and we're like, nah, it was pretty mutual and peaceful. I'm like, that sucks. You'd want it to be like tears.
But if you have kids, that's what you need. Because the bad ones, you've seen those where you're like, holy shit, they just hate each other. I've seen people who stay together who fucking hate each other. And that makes me sad too.
That's bad.
Because you're just like, you hate going home. That friend who will stay out with you all night. And you're like, man, this person rocks. And you're like, oh, they're deeply unhappy. That's why they're still drinking with me. Like you just like so grateful. They're like, this person wants to party, but they hate their home life.
That's true. That is the one thing where, when the divorce rate is at 40%, it's like, yeah, a lot of marriages, like just growing up, you see, you're like, damn, these guys hate each other. So that is a sad thing too, to like, there's no easy way because it is going to be stressful, but it's like, yeah, when do you throw in the towel is like a weird question. And mostly women initiate divorce.
Yeah.
It's mostly women who initiate it, which is like, I've always been struck by that, but it's like.
Yeah, maybe women put more stock in happiness. I think dudes are kind of more comfortable being miserable.
Yeah, true.
Women are like, am I happy? Like they're more introspective. I think women question things more than we do. Like I'm happy to just go through life being like, I need a joke. I need this, But then every once in a while when you like face your feelings, you're like, oh my God. Like it'll scare, because women are just like trained to deal with their feelings.
Yeah, all the time.
And we're not. So when I'll just like, I'm feeling something I don't like. Whiskey, please. I'll just like, I'll just bottle it up. But that's not good either.
They're incommunicado all the times with each other about like what's stressing them, what's going on. And they are good about that. But sometimes it can be too much where I'm like, dude, like, well, you're invalidating my feelings. They're dumb. They don't apply to the problem. They're just getting in our way. Turn it off now, cram it down, and fucking deal.
Yeah.
But you are kind of right. I think I've talked about this before, but one time I was with my wife and she was like freaking out where it's like bedtime. She was just like panicking. I could hear her breathing weird. I'm like, what's the matter? And she was like, I'm like, just tell me what's wrong. And dude, she listed a rapid fire response of like 6 problems at once that had like sub problems about like this person. And I was just like, stop right now. It was so fast, and it was just like
so organized.
Yes, it was like this interconnected web of like this person, that, and this happened, and then they thought this and that, and I was just like, I was like, all right, I don't ever want to glimpse into that ever again. But I was like, I feel for you.
Was it a work problem or just like a home problem?
I don't even remember. It was more of like a friend group / work thing that she was freaking out. Oh, dude, it was like
you watch these. I don't watch them, but some of my girlfriend will have these like Real Housewives shows on, and I'm like, you're just manufacturing problems. I know that they're like fake and they're written and stuff, but these people, just the idea of these people who have nothing going on, they're like, this person didn't invite me to a party, and that's like an arc. Yeah, and you're like, that's your life.
That's like a punch in the stomach in girl world though. You have a party.
That's true.
You have a party.
But sometimes it's even less than that. Sometimes like this person like cut me off or was rude to me, and you're just like, all right.
Yeah. Hold a grudge.
You're right. The party thing is that was a bad example.
That does make sense though. It is dumb, but it is like that is a thing since women don't like.
It does suck to not get invited to a party. I don't want to go, but I do want to be invited.
Yeah, man.
Like, I don't want to go to weddings ever, but like when I don't get the invite, I'm a little like, it's a bummer.
I get kind of sad as well. Yeah. I'd really not like to go to almost anything, but if I don't get invited, I'm like, what the fuck would
you just want to be thought of. You don't want to actually do it. You just want it's almost like at a certain point, the consent is better than the sex.
Yeah.
Where you're like, that woman would fuck you. And you're like, what? That's amazing. True. And then you just go home and you jack off and you're like, who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't need the fucking sex.
I want to keep the fantasy in my head.
Yeah. But the sex would ruin it. She would be like, oh, that was horrible. And you'd be like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, that stinks.
But the idea that it could have happened, you're like, oh, it's fucking, I'll take it.
I always wonder. It's like, 'cause especially when you're before you're married, you do like, you're like, all right, I'm gonna have sex. It better be good. And now I'm just like, I'm not. I mean, if it's good, it's great. But if you'll just let me in there, I'm like, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Now you get to the point. I used to get like sad and resentful about that. Now I'm like, that is actually nice. You not wanting to have sex and letting me do that anyway. I'm like, thank you for that.
It's considerate.
That's very nice. I mean, that's very nice of you. You didn't have to do that. Next time, show some little more fucking spirit, all right?
I'm dating someone. I was walking back to the hotel from the comedy club last night, and some woman was like, oh my, she was like so excited to see me. I was like, oh, what's up? And I was like, well, she was like, I'm a big fan. I was like, oh shit, cool. And we were talking a little bit. She was attractive. And I was like, man, if I was single, I would try to have sex with her and I would lose a fan. I might as well just keep the fan.
True.
I'm better at comedy than that.
That is really funny, dude. That is, yeah. I've always been married. I never got to like sexually interact with my fan base.
How long have you been married?
5 years.
Oh, okay.
So I've been married.
I didn't get it when it was like good, really. I feel like, because I was always just so quickly out of a breakup, and it was just like I was too sad, or I like when, or I would ruin it. I remember I fucked like an older woman in Portland once, and I was so sad after a breakup. She's like a divorced woman. She had a really nice house, and right after I came, she was like, what's wrong? I'm like, I just miss my ex. Oh. And then she was like asking about it, and I was like, I'm sorry. It's just like very fresh. And she was just like, well, it sounds like she doesn't want you back. And I was like, she might. Like, we got into like an argument about her. I was like, it could work. And I was like, wow, this is like the worst one night stand ever. I suck.
There is something cool though about like that divorced lady energy.
Oh, she was like,
I'm glad those ladies are out there.
Oh my God, I love it.
Like, fuck your ex. She says like $1 million house.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, things don't work out, kid.
Yeah. I haven't seen my kids in 6 months. They fucking hate me. Yeah, that is kind of funny to be like, she doesn't want you.
I know. She was right.
Oh, really?
She was definitely right. But I mean, I wasn't ready to hear it. I was still sad.
Yeah.
And you're just trying to numb yourself on the road. It's like any way. It's like what I'm saying. You're trying to avoid the feelings of feeling. Yeah. But you have to. I've gotten better at just feeling when I'm sad.
Yeah, true.
Or, what you were saying on that podcast the other day, like just forcing yourself. I'm not like working out hard, but I'll go to the gym and you get a little boost,
Do something, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that helps me. I've been good at that. Like, I've been trying to do a thing where I just like, if I'm in a hotel, my first instinct is like, I'm just going to fucking watch porn and jerk off. Because otherwise, I can't fall asleep otherwise. And I've been like forcing myself to just lay in my bed and just feel whatever that feeling is of like, before that I would go away if I just jerked off.
I know what you mean. It's so tempting. It's like made up perfectly for it.
It's crazy, and I'm like, what is going on in me? And then I'll sit there and feel it. I'm like, maybe I can just fall asleep naturally, and then I will actually get relaxed, and then I'll just watch porn and jerk off. Oh my God! Now I'm really gonna fall asleep.
I did the exact same thing last night. The only difference between me now and me in like in my 20s is I read afterwards.
Oh,
I
nice.
had my book with me. I was like, I'll read a few pages, then I'll fall asleep.
That is, yeah. Like nobody needs melatonin.
I still watch porn and jerked off, but
You read your book.
I read my book.
That is the melatonin company does not want you to hear this, but yeah, if you watch porn and then read a book,
you could do it.
You do not need melatonin.
You get sleepy.
You do. I read every night before bed. I love it, man.
What are you reading?
Right now, I'm reading a book called Money and the Meaning of Life. That's like, it's pretty good. This is professor talking. He's like a comparative religion professor who just like yammers on about like how money is like central to like, just like it's so deeply embedded in people's psyches, and how it's like we're pretty unique in that regard as like a civilization because it's like relatively new, I guess. And he just says like how you just need like to come up with a way in life that like money's always going to be important. If you try to tell yourself it's nothing, you're just fooling yourself, because it's like when you put like a lesser or base desire, you try to banish it from your consciousness, it just becomes wild and then just like goes crazy and like goes out of control. So his whole thing was like just try to make money the second most important thing in your life, because he's like it's probably the most important thing for pretty much everyone. It's understandable that it is, but if like you can make it the second most important thing, he's like that's an amazing achievement.
That's true, and family will be your number one.
No, me. No, yeah, anything. Family, just anything you're doing. It gets into the gift economy, how a true gift never stops moving. Like you're like it's like there's like a I don't know, but But yeah, he's like, if you can make it second most, and it's like, money's tied in with all of your other kind of like creaturely concerns, where he's like, if you can try to somehow make that second most important, he's like, amazing achievement. It was a good lesson.
Yeah, sometimes you just need to be reminded of things that we kind of already know.
Yeah, exactly.
You kind of know it, but a guy's just like, it's with everything. It's like, fuck. Sometimes you just see a comedian, you're like, oh yeah, I'm just supposed to be funny.
Yep.
Sometimes it's just so simple. Like you see the most obvious message in a movie or book, and you're like, why did I know that, but why did I lose sight of it?
All the time. Yeah, it happens and that's what he was saying. He's like, when you try to banish these things from your consciousness, they just kind of work in the shadows and just take right over again without you even knowing. But yeah, that's helped me a lot in stand-up, because I used to always fucking panic everywhere. I'd be like, oh, fuck. Now I'm just like, there's people here, they want to laugh. I'm going to do my best.
You had anxiety to perform, you mean?
Yes. Math. All the time.
Yeah.
All the time, yeah. Yeah, I would just sit there and go, ugh.
I dread it. I get really, and then I'm on and I feel fine. Once I get the first laugh, I feel fine. But like, yeah, I dread the waiting.
Yeah.
A comic before me could run the light by 2 minutes. I'm like, oh, you're killing me.
Get the fuck on.
I just want to fucking go on.
I know. Yeah, I've like relaxed a lot. But if I'm in a new scenario, like when I moved down to Texas, I had to go to the mothership. I was just like,
you have to prove yourself all over again.
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of people know you, but you still have to, you feel like you have to prove yourself.
It's true. And I was like working on pretty much newish material, because I like did the special, and like I was like still trying to like build up like an hour. So I was just shitting myself the whole time. But it's like now I've like tried to take myself out of the equation as much as I can, and just be like, these people want to laugh. I'm going to try to make them laugh. And if I don't do well, it was a valiant effort, and I'm not going to like freak out or be like, you're a fucking piece of shit. Like that stuff is bad.
I used to always think like, it's one set. It's not going to change my life in any way. If you get a new joke, cool. But like this, I'm not ruining myself over this set.
Yeah.
Although Michael Richards might have thought the same thing. So you never know. But but that's how I feel.
Everyone bombs there. Yeah,
everyone says the N-word a bunch to strangers in the crowd. Luckily, camera phones aren't a real thing yet.
True.
Wait a second. Yeah.
No, you should have had the yonder bag, dude. Yonder bag's so important.
Yeah, Chappelle has to protect material. Other comics are like, I might have a racist tirade. I just need. No, but I really do feel that way. Like nothing really that bad is going to happen. Like you just give them the best show you can, especially when you're like really, you're working on stuff and you're building, and hopefully the crowds now are sophisticated enough to understand like how we have to do this. So they know, they listen to enough podcasts and stuff, or you're doing your show on your tour and you're like, this is where it's at right now. I hope it's good enough, but like it'll get there,
For sure. You still get those psychos like, so you're going to do the same thing on the next show? And you're like, yes, I am. Get the fuck out of here. Do you like make it up every time? You're like, no, dude. What the fuck do you think I am?
I know. People think that.
I know.
Isn't that crazy?
They're like, so you're going to do like, what are you going to do for the next show? Just like something totally different? I'm like, no.
Well, you do. I mean, look, there are moments where we're riffing, so they think that maybe the other stuff. There are moments where we're like, at the end of the show, I'll fuck around with the crowd. I'll like scream out a current event. I'll try to, or I'll do whatever. Say
that's kind of fun. Yeah.
Stuff like that, just to, because I get bored with the material anyway. But like, yeah, the fact that they think it's all off the dome is insane.
It's crazy. But
that would be so fucking. I mean, there are dudes. I think Rory Scovel would do some shit like that.
He did a whole special where he just went completely off the dome.
He's a different breed though in that way. I think that normal comics you just can't.
No, I don't know. It'd be a fun experiment, but it's also like.
But it would do a disservice. Like, can you imagine like Chris Rock off the dome as opposed to like seeing his? I want to hear his polished stuff.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true. It's one of those things that sounds cool, but you'd also have to tell the audience, that way they're bought in, so they're not just kind of like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
I know.
But, well, dude, I think you crushed it, man. I think we're at an hour. Thank you so much.
So fun, yeah.
That was a blast, dude. Thank you.
It's the most we've ever spoken.
I know.
If you're ever in New York, you got to come by ours,
Please, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what I've been video recording my basically first time really meeting people. It's really sweet. It's really cool. It's really awesome. But dude, thank you, man. What do you have? Do you have anything you want to?
Yeah, I'm on tour like crazy. Starting in January, I got some clubs to warm up in, like San Antonio, Liberty, and Liberty Township, Ohio, which is like somewhere near Cincinnati, I think.
Nice.
And then Pittsburgh Improv, and then it's just like all theaters going forward, and we're doing the bus, so it's like Charlotte, Richmond, DC, Philly, Tulsa, fucking Austin, Dallas, West Coast, every city. So it's just samuel.com/shows, and if you don't see it, it'll be there. It'll be there in the fall. I'm coming everywhere. So that's Segura. I'm so jealous of his tour name. I'm coming everywhere.
Is that what it is?
That's what he called me. Like, what a great tour name.
That is pretty good.
But yeah, so it's just my website. Go to shows, and I'm really coming to every city, and it's a new hour, and I feel like it's getting there. It'll be good by then. So.
Hell yeah, dude! You better get the fuck out there and go there, dude.
And we got our whiskey, Bodega Cat, which is going to be, it's me and Mark Norman's whiskey. I brought you a bottle. It's good stuff. It's everywhere in New York now. It's going to be everywhere here soon. So I'm pumped.
Fuck yeah, dude! That's awesome, man. Hell yeah! Well, thanks for coming, dude.
Thanks for having me, dude.
Appreciate that. Thank you guys. Love you guys. Goodbye, Dr. Peter Attia, dude. Thank you for coming. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for doing this. I'm really pumped. I read your book, so I'm kind of familiar with
thank
your
you
stuff,
so much.
And I kind of like what you're about.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for doing the podcast. And I guess I'll give you an introduction and correct me if I'm wrong. You were a medical doctor and you did cancer surgery, right?
A general surgery with a focus on cancer.
With the focus on cancer. And then you just kind of, I liked your origin story a lot. So from what I remember in your book, you did this big swim, like it was like a marathon swim or something. And how far did you swim?
It was about 21 miles.
That's insane. So you did a 21-mile swim, and then, if I remember correctly, you were eating a cheeseburger in celebration. And your wife,
actually, that was a slightly longer swim. But yes. Now I know the story you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah, that honestly, dude, that made me laugh so hard that you did like
I think that was like 25 miles or something.
25-mile swim. You go out to have a cheeseburger and I believe a Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
And your wife more or less was like, "You're fat."
Yeah.
Dude, that's the best. And then it launched you, and then you just got the ultimate revenge. It started like a super successful business. How do you feel about that?
She was very sweet. She said, she didn't say you're fat. She goes, "You need to work on being less, not thin."
That's worse, though. I'd rather someone be like, "You fat ass," and be like, "You need to be less, not thin." But you just swam 25 miles.
Yeah, well.
That's wonderful, though. That is good, though, to have a woman to push you to those heights. Because then is that really like the genesis of you kind of branching out into like...
I had actually already left medicine at that point. I had been out of medicine for 3 years. I was working at that time... God, what was I doing? I was working at an energy company, I think, or maybe I was in finance or something. I was like, I had nothing to do with medicine. But that was right around the time my daughter was born as well. And so I think that was kind of the 1-2 punch. It was sort of my daughter's born. And then I'm realizing actually like I'm not that healthy. Yeah. Even though I exercise a lot, I'm actually not that healthy. And those two things were what kind of got me to be pretty obsessed with just trying to figure out how to not die prematurely.
The kids do that. I have a 2 and a 4-year-old, and that really kind of, I actually thought, you'll find this interesting. I thought I was healthy. I was doing the, all these apps. Like I did the one where you like mail your poop and all that stuff. And I did that. They came back like, "Dude, you're like 6 years younger biologically." I was like, "Dude, this is awesome." I had the Aura thing. I had that going on, telling me I'm 7 years younger than my age. And then I took a blood panel. Dude, I'm like pre-diabetic.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, what the fuck, man? It was like, I thought I was like killing it. And I got it back and it was like, I literally just found out 2 days ago. So this timing couldn't be more perfect. What is it, A1C, I think it was? My A1C is like 5.7, which was like, but I did eat 2 bites of a pancake before my blood work, which you're not supposed to do.
Shouldn't impact the A1C.
Damn it, dude. I was fucking hoping that was the answer. Yeah, so that is kind of crazy because and again, I don't, I'm not the definition of fitness, but I'm not like, I thought I had the almost type 2 diabetes.
Well, it takes a while. Like no one wakes up diabetic, but also most people don't recognize that it's a 10-year journey for most people.
Really?
To get there, yeah.
So what? I have like four more years of pre-diabetes?
No, I mean, I think that's impossible to predict for any one person, but we definitely know that disease is so much more complicated than people, I think, historically have thought of it. People have historically said, well, I mean, type 2 diabetes is your pancreas can't make enough insulin, you can't get enough glucose out of your blood into the muscles, and eventually we just cut off some arbitrary number. We just say once you reach a certain level of blood glucose, then you have type 2 diabetes. But, to me, that's just not a great way to think about it. I think of it as a continuum and a spectrum. And pre-diabetes is a step along the way, but we also know that the lower your blood sugar, the better. So 5.7 is better than 5.8 is better than 5.9. But even though we would call you quote unquote normal at 5.6, I would argue 5 is much better than 5.6.
Gotcha. I see what you're saying. Yeah. It was like for real joke because I was like dancing in the end zone on my wife because she is her biological age and I'm not rubbing it in, but it was like whatever. And I was like, I'm like 5 years older than her, so I was like her peer biologically. And I was laughing, I was
these biologic clocks things are such a scam. It is
I
incredible.
Well, dude,
I love it.
Mine
I love it. I love it. It's brilliant marketing. It is brilliant marketing.
Well, I woke up one day and I went I lost half a year of my biological age. I was like, what the fuck did I do? I went into a panic. But yeah, so that was like a real revelation for me. I was like, holy shit, man, because my dad has type 2 diabetes. And I was like, yeah, that's on him. He eats ice cream all the time. I'm healthy. And I got my blood work. And I was like, son of a bitch. By the way, I'm just breaking this right now. I don't.
This is breaking news.
This is breaking news.
This is like so timely.
I have and I was actually, it is very timely. And I have been leveraging it emotionally in my household, which is nice. Anytime my wife bothers me, I'm like, dude, I have pre-diabetes. This cortisol is going to mess up my insulin. So
I got a text message literally on the way over here from a buddy who just got a vasectomy yesterday, and we had recommended the urologist to him who was going to do it. So he goes, look, I just want to tell you, man, literally the best experience ever. The guy was incredible, so funny. He's got me draped like over the table, so he's like there's a drape. Like I'm laying on my back.
Like a C-section? They do they don't let you see?
Yeah, it's like you're sterile. Okay. They want to keep you sterile, right?
Gotcha.
And the guy walks in the room, first time, he hasn't seen me, he doesn't see my face. He just sees my schlong and he goes, oh, I remember you. But he was but it was just all jokes. And he says today, he goes, look, honestly, zero pain at all. But don't tell my wife. I am going to milk this as 10 out of 10 pain for another week.
So important.
Yeah.
So also the vasectomy, you can't ejaculate for 7 days or something?
That's a good question. I don't know how many days.
I swear to God,
I don't know how many days.
I don't know how many. Like 7. My friend did it. He
had to hold off. Yeah,
7 whole days, and he said he went a little prematurely. And said he had a little bit of pain. so that's not good. But yeah, dude. So that was kind of crazy, man. Because I've been doing all the services because I haven't been to a doctor in forever. Because I'm I go to, and this is what I think was cool in your book. You have what was it, healthcare 2.0 versus 3? What was the latest?
Yeah, medicine 2.0 versus medicine 3.0. Yeah.
So 3.0 is kind of where you're at. That's kind of more cutting edge. 2.0 is a step up from medieval humors and.
Yeah, but still important. I mean, we still want medicine 2.0. Medicine 2.0 will take care of a problem when it shows up.
Gotcha.
And if you're in a car accident, you break your leg, you get pneumonia, you want someone who knows how to deal with those problems. But it's a very different system from, hey, how do I take a guy whose hemoglobin A1C is 5.5, who everyone thinks is just perfect, but I think he's on the path to actually, being diabetic in 10 years. And why would I wait till he's staring down the door when I could just make the changes now?
Yeah, and that was kind of my beef with doctors. I would go there and they're nice. I don't have anything against them, but I go there and they're just kind of yeah, cholesterol's good. And I'm like, this is all we're worried about? This is it, and it's and then they lowered the window to blood pressure. The one day I went in there and they're like, oh, by the way, high blood pressure is lower now. And I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't have a blood pressure problem, but it's I just feel like you go there and it's you're like a car. You go in and they check 2 things. You're like, yeah, you're good. But so I really liked your book, how you're you want to check for more things and try to increase the health span, not just the lifespan, which I like. Because a lot of people are very unhealthy. Yeah. I thought I was a poster child for health, dude. I'm one of the suffering Americans. I need Michelle Obama to come make me lunch, dude. I'm fucked up right now. So what are you working on right now? Because the book, has anything changed from the book? And again, correct me if I'm wrong, but the summary was the 4 horsemen. That's the things that the 4 leading causes of death. And there are what? Heart disease?
Cancer.
Neurodegenerative
diseases and dementing diseases like Alzheimer's disease and metabolic disease.
That's me. That's diabetes, right?
And they overlap. So when you have type 2 diabetes, your risk of those other diseases goes up by 50%. So that one sort of feeds into the other. And also if you have cardiovascular disease, your risk of dementia goes way up. So.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Damn, that sucks. Yeah, and you know what's weird too? Because I don't want to turn this into like a personal doctor visit, but like I, for real, had like crazy brain fog. Like I was like messing up recalling words, and a lot of my mom's side had like dementia stuff when they got older. So I started being like, damn, I might be like getting like early dementia. And as soon as I learned about the high A1C, and I don't know if that's like high enough to cause brain fog. Like I was like, I forgot the word croissant. I was like trying to think of that word. Couldn't think of that. But as soon as I got off all the carbs and now I'm like basically doing like keto, my brain just like came right back to life. It's pretty nuts.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that that's related to the A1C per se, but fluctuating levels of blood glucose make it just a little more difficult. And some people are more sensitive to it than others. Some people, they can eat all the carbs in the world and it doesn't seem to phase them. And a lot of people are like, no, the moment I go to slower carbs or just no carbs at all, or just more complex carbs, my energy levels normalize, and so too does my attention.
Yeah, dude, that happened for me. And I also don't have to eat as much. Like I was eating so much, man. It would be like 4 cups of rice. I was just pigging out.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I stopped eating that much carbs, I eat like 2 meals a day, and they're pretty like sparse. So,
tell me about these pictures here. What's
thank
the
you,
significance?
man. This I just figured it was funny because it's just kind of like just an ample naked lady sitting at a picnic. So I literally picked the pictures very quickly. This one I just wanted very intense imagery.
Yeah.
And so this is kind of like, this is pleasant. It's a little complicated. What
do you think's going on here? Why is she naked? And who are these guys?
These guys are up to no good for sure. I think these guys, it looks like they just got happened upon, and someone's going, "What the hell are you doing with that ample naked lady in the park?" And this guy's like,
but he's like fully dressed.
Yeah.
Who's the girl in the background?
So to answer your first question, this is a clothed male, naked female. It's a fetish. That's going on. And I think she's kind of like next. I think they're like, get over here, strip down so we can have a naked picnic. This caused a serious uproar back in the day. When this guy painted this, it was a problem.
I can see why.
They were like, if you had someone pose, this lady had to have been a prostitute. And they're like, that's totally scandalous.
Yeah. What year approximately was this?
I wish I knew. I don't know. If I had to guess, I would say like maybe the late 1800s. If I had to guess, but I could be wrong. And that guy, I don't know what that guy's hat's all about over there, but
yeah, I mean, it's sort of. I don't want to profile him, but I have thoughts.
True, it is a hat. I don't recognize that hat, and I do have my own suspicions as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he's like, I don't know what's going on. He seems kind of distracted. I think he's being caught. She's just kind of getting caught. There's just a lady in a pond, maybe, just kind of floating around.
Oh, that's interesting. So I see that now. I thought she was picking up apples, but maybe she's washing her hands.
Sure. Well,
in the pond.
One could only guess why. But yeah, so that was cool. I thought that was a fun one. This is very intense. I like this. And then I just, tossed a little crucifixion up there.
It's the rainbow crucifixion. I don't know my biblical history well enough to. I would embarrass myself if I asked dumb questions. But is there a rainbow after the crucifixion?
I would hope so. God was rising back to heaven 2 days before, so I'd hope that.
No, I thought it was 3 days after this.
3 days. My bad. 3 days.
So so that foreshadowed maybe the resurrection. Is what
could be. Yeah, could be.
Yeah.
But I honestly don't know. I don't have any real knowledge.
Can you imagine how brutal the world was when we crucified people?
I think about it all the time.
Like, how lucky are we to live in this candy-ass world of softness?
Dude, I try to tell it to people, and I have people tell me.
I'm so grateful.
It's insane, because I try to tell people, I'm like, dude, it was way different. And other people will be like
those guys were thieves, right?
Yeah.
Like that today, you wouldn't even go to jail.
Yeah,
in most cities.
Yeah, they'll kill you.
Yeah. And then you get crucified?
Yeah. And it also, the procession was like a pretty nasty part of it, too. Just to get walked through the streets, spit upon, rocks thrown at you.
I can't fathom.
Dude, the social anxiety.
And by the way, that's only 2,000 years ago, which in the arc of human history is yesterday.
Nothing.
That's nothing.
That's what I try to tell people, man, because there's a lot of people who are like, everything's always been the same. It's just different variations on the same themes. And I'm like, dude, it's gotten so much different from 2,000 years ago. It can still get so much different.
Think about 500 years ago, right? Think about if you could be you, or you could be the king of England 500 years ago with like, it sounds great until you get like a dental abscess. And you realize there's no AC, there's no heat, the food sucks.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you're going to be the king of England 500 years ago.
Yeah, the food still sucks in England now. Yeah, that's a good point because
it's probably pre-fish and chips.
Yeah, that would actually suck. I didn't ever thought about being like the king of another country. But it would be pretty terrible. There was a king in some medieval time, like longer ago than that, but they thought alcohol was like health stuff back in the day. It was like the spirit.
It kind of was because water was so contaminated, right?
Yeah.
So you basically had two broad cultures that emerged from either the fermentation of alcohol, of water, right, and alcohol to make to get rid of the bacteria, or tea. Right, you have sort of the rise of the sort of tea culture where you boiled water. But yeah, the idea that you were just going to go and drink water was like, I mean, the fact that we're sitting here drinking this is incredible.
It's pretty tight, actually. But yeah, they had a king. They were like, they rubbed him down in like brandy maybe, and then they were like, all right, we're gonna like rub this all over his body, and like a candle got too close and just burnt the guy alive, and all the high priest or whatever had to be like, you must have been fucking evil.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
no one put two and two together. They didn't understand exothermic chemical reactions.
Damn, dude. So let me ask you this. What is the gist of your book is basically, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, but the gist was basically like, we can pre-screen better and we can kind of promote wellness rather than waiting till somebody has like a horrible, often irreversible disease and like try to fix it through kind of like nuking the
and part of it is like, what gets measured gets managed. And so medicine 2.0 measures lifespan as the ultimate outcome, that's been productive. That's a good thing to measure. I'm not suggesting we shouldn't care about lifespan, because 150 years ago, lifespan was 40 years. Today it's 80. That's insane. We doubled lifespan. And that's all due to medicine 2.0. Basically figuring out how to not kill women when they gave birth to children, how to keep babies alive when they were born, how to fight infections, how to wash our hands, like that, and a little bit of stuff around trauma and critical care. Like, you doubled human lifespan. But we're not managing health span. And so part of the argument is, okay, we've done pretty well on lifespan. We could do better, but we really have to manage health span.
Yeah.
And so if we think about things that make up health span, it's sort of like, how much muscle mass do you have? How strong are you? How much endurance do you have? How much flexibility and balance do you have? How quick is your cognitive performance? How happy are you? How are your relationships? How much joy do you have in your life? These things are softer and squishier. Some of them are pretty easy to measure, like VO2 max and muscle mass and strength. Some of them are harder to measure, like cognitive performance. But if you don't measure something, there's no chance you're going to manage to it. And I would just argue we have to slightly tilt in the direction of doing more on that front.
Yeah, it'd also be cooler to go to the doctor and have him like hit the treadmill. Let's check your VO2 max.
Yeah, let me see how long you can dead hang for. Let me see your grip strength.
That'd be so much better than sitting there and just being like basically getting molested and leaving. That's all you do. You go there and they're like, all right, we're gonna. What is the coughing? Why do they do that? Why do they hold your...
It's funny. I thought you were going to ask me to do it to you earlier when you said this is not an appointment. I literally thought you were going to whip your junk out and have me check.
I'm just going just for the A, dude. You got to do the butt.
They're checking for a hernia.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
But why is that like the top of the pops? And
exactly.
There's so much other things to check. It's like, we're not going to do all this other stuff that'd be useful. We're
not going to look at a bunch of things, but I do want to stick my finger in the inguinal canal.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And I'm going to make you cough.
And I'm glad, they do that, but it's like, why did that get picked as opposed to all of his other stuff you're talking about? Do you think it has something to do with like just like institutional, just repressed homosexuality throughout the entire culture, and that was like
I don't know. But I will say this, like, I can't tell you how many rectal exams I've done, and then I realized, like, I mean, technically a good urologist will tell you that their finger is good enough to truly feel a prostate cancer that would otherwise not be picked up on a PSA or some other test. And I'll take them at their word, but I think for the rest of us who don't do 20 a day, yeah, I don't think my finger is good enough. You know,
don't say that.
I mean, I'll work harder, but
yeah, that's crazy. So they're saying they can just feel like it's just
they've said, like, look, man, you know, there's always that one case that slips through the crack where the guy has a normal PSA, no pun intended. Yeah, jeez.
So they can tell, yeah.
But they're like, yep, if you feel a certain type of super hard nodule on the prostate, that would be suspicious.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is. I think they really could if doctors would embrace that. It'd be so much more fun. You go, you kind of run on the treadmill, dead hang. They can talk to you a little bit about it. It just seems so kind of sterile.
Plank. Yeah, there's like a bunch of basic tests. We should be able to see that people do. I completely agree.
Yeah, I don't. I did really like your book for that reason. Hopefully that kind of stuff takes. So if that's the scope of the book, where do you stand now? Has anything changed in that time, or is there anything that's like latest and greatest that's kind of like blowing your mind right now?
I think my thinking is always evolving. I would say if I were writing that book today, I would actually kind of add a fifth horseman, which is anything that pertains to a weakened immune system. So I'm just getting over a cold because I have 3 kids and 2 of them are young. So basically I'm always in the face of like some virus, right?
Yeah.
So twice a year I always get some stupid cold and it's no big deal. It starts in my throat, blah, blah, blah. It gets into my lungs. I hack up a bunch of junk and then I'm fine. But, anyone who's been around older folks realizes that that's the kind of thing that can tip them over the edge when they're 80 years old.
Yeah.
A really bad infection, a flu, COVID, things that us, 50-year-olds laugh at can become deadly. And so from a research perspective, this is something I'm super interested in, is how do we regenerate the immune system? So, I'm in my 50s, my immune system's also in its 50s. Would it be amazing if when I'm in my 80s, I could still have an immune system that's maybe like in my 50s or 40s? The effect that would have against, mitigating the risk of fatal pneumonias, infections, and even cancers is huge, because the immune system is the first line of defense against cancer.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Is that it? Didn't they used to use like fevers for that too? They would induce fevers to try to kill certain types of cancer.
Yeah, and it wasn't very successful because it's so non-specific.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, cancer is the only way for the immune system to eradicate cancer is you have to get the very, very, very specific T cell that recognizes exactly that cancer, and you have to figure out a way to make enough of them that it wins that war. And that rarely happens spontaneously. I mean, the cases are, documented in the literature. They're so rare, but we now have drugs that can make that happen in about 10% of cases, which is cool. Huge.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. So what was your research yielded? How do you think you can bolster the immune system, or like?
I mean, it depends I don't know how technical the audience wants to get into this stuff, but so stop me when this has become unbearable.
For sure.
So we have DNA. Okay. So everyone's heard of DNA. DNA is the code that tells every cell how to make a protein. So what tells DNA to turn on and off are something called methylations, little carbons that stick on the backbone, or something called the epigenome. So DNA is regulated through this methylation pattern. And as we age, that changes.
Gotcha.
So we can look at a T cell, which is the type of cell that fights a cancer or an infection, and we can say, that's what an old one looks like. That's what a new one looks like. Even though the DNA is the same, the epigenome above the genome, this methylation pattern looks different. And so the question is, what if we took the methylation pattern of an old T cell and made it look like a young T cell? Would it revert into a young T cell? So to me, that's certainly top 2 or 3 most interesting questions in aging research today.
That's pretty cool. And that makes sense because it's like the DNA, you're born with it, and then the epi layer, that's like the kind of like pattern that's affected through the environment.
That's what regulates it, exactly.
Yeah. And then so if you can kind of get into that, and then so you could, and it was stress too, because I noticed that was a big thing in your book. So, and you can stress yourself to the point where your epigenome will just start being like,
everything in the environment can affect that. So it's affected just naturally through aging. So the passage of time affects it, but so does anything in the environment. So whether you exercise, whether you smoke, whether you have diabetes or not, all of those things, good sleep, bad sleep, high stress, low stress, anything can tweak that in the right or wrong direction.
Damn, okay. That's pretty cool. So
but
you're saying
but the gravitational pull of age is huge. And that's the one I'm most interested in, is like, how would you, because even the healthiest 80-year-old has nowhere near the immune system of an unhealthy 30-year-old.
Yeah. Yeah, and we saw that. Everyone was hoping against hope that Mike Tyson would just knock out Jake Paul, and that was kind of like a bitter moment for a lot of people.
Yeah, you can't, like age is not, like,
just can't do it.
Yeah, as Father Time is undefeated, as everybody said.
Yeah, even with like the TRT, what are your thoughts on that? Like in terms of like, what age to kind of smash the glass and just go full upgrade?
I don't know that there's an age I would do it. I mean, I think the things that I would, I had a long talk with a patient yesterday about this exact question, and he's pretty young. He's like 36. Does not have kids, but wants to have kids. Yeah. So that's a huge consideration. So in his situation, I would say like TRT is not a good idea. I suggested that he bank sperm. And if he wants to go down that rabbit hole, and by the way, I don't think he needs to, because I don't think his levels are like kind of 50th percentile. He's not terribly symptomatic. I would kind of eke out a bit more time, but I would rely on hormones that are going to ramp up his body's production of testosterone, as opposed to just giving him testosterone, which will shut off his body's supply
forever.
No, and it's not something that happens overnight. Like he'd have to be on testosterone for a while before he would shut down his own production.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on that? On like that whole thing of, especially for 30-year-olds, do you think it's like good to kind of have that, or do you think it like should be kind of a long road?
I think you gotta, take every case individually, but if a 30-year-old has testosterone that is so low that it's impacting him, I think you have to start by asking why.
Right.
Like, how bad is his sleep? How bad is his stress? How bad is every other factor going on? I mean, when I finished, when I was, leaving my residency, my testosterone was 227, I think, which is insanely low. That's only 2.5 times higher than a woman.
What?
Yeah.
Is that why doctors' hands are so soft every time you shake them? Damn,
no,
that's crazy.
That's for the rectal exam, so you just don't get
That's true. That's true. You wouldn't want like my dad's finger.
But the reason is pretty clear, right? Because I was sleeping 28 to 30 hours a week.
Damn.
Right? So, horrible sleep deprivation is going to make it really difficult to make appropriate levels of testosterone.
And that makes it harder for you to sleep too when your testosterone gets lower?
I think probably a little bit, but the causality is much more in the opposite direction, meaning the horrible sleep is destroying
I see.
The production of testosterone and growth hormone. But of course, at the time, it never occurred to me to do anything about it, and once I, was in a job where I could actually sleep each night, lo and behold, my testosterone kind of normalized.
It peaked up.
Yeah.
What do you think that's a good thing for people to actually look at? Because I always get the feeling that like, if you even go into one of those places, they're going to hard sell you and you'll be on the tee like before you know it.
I think you should not go to, I'm trying to think of the right analogy. If you walk into a store that only sells hammers, everything's a nail.
Yeah.
Right. So I think if you walk into a tea shop and all they do is male hormone optimization, I would say buyer beware.
Yeah.
Because they even if they internally have the best of intentions, like I just don't think they can get out of their own way. Yeah. I also think you should be very wary of going to a place for any sort of therapy where they're selling you the therapy.
True.
Like if my whole shtick is I'm here to, give you the best hormones or supplements or whatever, and oh, by the way, on your way out, we'll sell them to you. It's just such a conflict of interest.
Yeah.
So,
so what do you think about the internet companies that are like I did one. I don't know if it's nice to like name it or not, but like the ones that like you mail like stool sample, blood, saliva, and they're like, here's precision supplements for you and you alone. How do you think they're like? How much of that is kind of generic, and do you think some of those companies are really dialed in, or like?
I don't doubt that there are ways to kind of sort of optimize supplements around biomarkers. I'm not sure that it's as precise as people want to believe. Yeah. I certainly don't think that. I actually think you can do a lot of supplement optimization off really basic blood work. Like I don't think, certainly, a stool sample is not necessary because most probiotics can't even provide the bacteria you need to impact it. I mean, your diet has a far greater role. Your fiber content has a far greater role on your gut biome and things that you'd be measuring in stool. And obviously saliva, blood, urine can measure things that are relevant and interesting. There aren't that many things that I think are worth taking. Like I think, if you're low in vitamin D and you're not getting enough sunlight, that makes sense. But that's a pretty simple blood test. If your homocysteine is elevated, you probably should take some methylated B vitamins. And if you drop it by more than 5 or 6 points, you're probably doing a lot. If your omega levels are low, fish oil probably helps if you're not willing to eat 3 servings of fish a week.
Right.
But the true basics of this are really simple. And then there's other supplements that probably make sense for most people, and you don't even need to test for them. Like anybody who's active could probably justify taking creatine.
Yeah.
And there's no blood test that's going to tell you whether or not you need it. We just know that, to fill and saturate total body stores, you're going to need 3 to 5 grams per day. So,
Really? That was surprising. That was like something I heard like in college, like, years ago when I'd lift weights. It was like creatine was almost like viewed as like a serious kind of like bodybuilder supplement. Now everything I read is like, no, everyone needs a ton of creatine.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, if you're playing the game of optimizing, you're going to get a benefit, probably about a 10% boost in performance for intensity and like super short intensity, i.e. the creatine phosphate energy system. So kind of like high bursts of, 10-second work, and then anaerobic stuff. It's not going to improve much aerobically, but and you'll also get a little hypertrophy benefit because the muscles will get bigger when they bring more water in.
That makes sense. Yeah, if like my kids are like 7 feet away and they're not listening, I could just fucking run at them.
Easy.
The fuck are you doing?
Easy.
Just Hulk them down. Yeah, that's my thing with fitness. A lot of people, and I'm sure I don't know if you've heard this. You're kind of I'm sure you're like. Listenership is very health oriented, but a lot of people get very like, I don't know, like very kind of scoffed. They kind of scoff a lot of this stuff where they're like, who gives a shit? And it's like, and I feel bad because like, I do get it. If you're like in a job you hate and you're just totally crushed down by like your life circumstance, having somebody be like, dude, eat a banana and do jumping jacks, you're gonna be like, dude, fuck you. I don't want to think about this. But it also will make your life better. Like I always like, whenever I lose sight of that, whenever I get too into my own like just stuff where I'm like, this isn't going well, I don't have time. If I just take like an hour, even a half an hour, and just like run as fast as I can, it's like I feel like amazing.
Yeah.
And I always say that's like a nice dimension you can add to your life where it's like everyone's like, like I want to get better in my job, blah, 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 blah. It's like just adding that, like time yourself running 100 meters and then try to get a better time next week. It gives you something you're kind of making progress in. And it also, you feel like great as a result.
Yeah. I think this is where kind of social media really distorts reality. And the example you give is a great one, right? So if your health sucks and you're trying to figure out where you're going to find an extra 2 hours a week to do some form of self-care, The last thing you need is some idiot influencer telling you to spend more time in the sauna and cold plunging. Like, I can promise you that is not the first, second, third, fourth, or fifth best use of your time if you only have 2 hours a week.
How would you break it down then?
If you've only got, so, I would start with let's do the absolute basics of blocking and tackling. So first thing I want to know is, are you getting at least 7 hours of sleep a night? Because if you're not getting at least 7 hours of sleep a night, it's going to be very difficult for you to do anything at your best.
So I don't want to interrupt you. My question with that is, say you are tracking your sleep and you only get like 43 hours of deep sleep every night, even though you go to bed at like a proper time. Does that matter as much of like REM versus deep sleep, or like?
I assume you mean 43 minutes, but
43 minutes.
Yeah.
I wish it's fucking 43 hours.
I only get 43 hours of deep sleep a year. I'm doing the math quickly. Oh god. I don't know. If a person says, I feel really well, and there are these, I link to them in the book. There are a whole bunch of surveys you can get for free that just have you do these are validated surveys that kind of go through daytime drowsiness and stuff like that. If you're in bed 7 to 7.5 hours a night, ideally 8, and your little sleep tracker says you're sleeping 7, but you're not happy with your stages, I wouldn't put a lot of stock into that unless you feel that there is a problem.
Got you.
But if you're like, no, I feel fine, and I fill out all the 2 surveys and they said I'm doing fine, ignore the data.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and stop wearing the tracker.
I know. I gotta stop.
Done with the tracker. So
I was checking every day. I'm like, 43 fucking minutes.
Yeah. Like, it just creates more anxiety.
It's just red. I see red numbers. And I'm like, fuck.
I haven't used one of those in a longer time than I can remember.
Yeah.
So
just do the basics.
The next
Sleep,
bucket. So then the next bucket I want to know is, what's your physical activity level? So let's say this is a person who's got none. They're doing none. And they say, look, I've only got 2 extra hours. I'm putting that entire 2 hours into exercise. So I'm going to say, we're going to do 4 30-minute workouts a week. And, again, I'd have to know more about the person, but it could easily end up being, we're going to do 2 cardio sessions a week. We're going to do 2 strength sessions a week. One of those cardio sessions per week is going to be kind of aerobic base training, where you're going at the same intensity the whole time. It's not that high. You can still sort of almost carry out a conversation. It's a little hard to talk, but you could. And then the other cardio session I would do, say 3 days off of that, would be more interval, kind of like what you were describing. So let's get on if you're at a gym and they have one of those air bikes, do something there, be on a treadmill, be outside. It doesn't really matter. Like, the goal, this person will get so much benefit from 2 hours a week of exercise that it almost doesn't matter what they do. And then the other 2 days a week, I'd have them do 2 30-minute whole body workouts at a gym where they never stop moving.
Okay.
So if you're doing it at home, it might be push-ups, pull-ups, wall sits, something like that. If you're at the luxury of being at a gym, you might just rotate machine to machine to machine and never stop. And that would just bring huge dividends. And then the last thing I'd do is, in addition to that, is just do a quick audit of their diet.
Yeah.
Are you overweight? Are you adequate weight? Are you underweight? That determines whether you need to eat more or less. And then, are you getting enough protein? And honestly, I wouldn't make it much more detailed than that. And so, look, with just a little bit of that insight, you've made better use of 2 hours a week. You've got them to stop worrying about their sleep. You've maybe changed 3 little things in their diet. I promise you that person in 3 months is going to feel significantly better. And then maybe, by the way, at that point, they're like, you know what? I wouldn't mind doing 3 hours a week of this exercise thing because I'm feeling kind of good. And you know what? I kind of want to dial the diet in a little bit more. But again, the problem is too many people are consuming information that says, oh my God, you need to be on this supplement. You need to be on this supplement. You need to be doing 30 minutes of this type of sauna and 20 minutes of this type of cold plunge. And people are like, shut up.
Yeah, I don't I can't do that.
Yeah. I mean, and to be clear, I love sauna and I love cold plunge.
Sure.
But it is like the 20th thing on my list of 21 things that is a part of my routine.
Yeah, that makes sense, man. That's actually cool to hear because it is like the solution is pretty basic and simple, and that's the thing that gets me bummed out when because I do think we live, and I could just be wrong, but I feel like we live in a pretty nihilistic kind of age, and it's like it does suck when that spreads. It's like a physical nihilism. Like, what the fuck's the point of even? It's like, dude, you'll feel so much better if I don't work out. I get depressed. It's like A to B easily. If I don't do it for like 2 weeks, I'm just like depressed and sad, and it's like. And if you don't do it, it's just, you feel terrible. And I always like to try to, like just get up and move your fucking body, man. There's so much, it's so much better than
we were meant to move.
We were.
And meant to be outside. That might be the other thing I would add is figure out a way to do something outdoors, like whether it's a quick walk or incorporate some of that exercise outdoors.
You know what I started doing? Skateboarding. At my ripe old age of 38, I started.
Took it out.
I just took it back. I've been doing it when I was little, I just started it, and it's weird. That's a real eye opener when you take an activity you did in childhood effortlessly. And you're like, let me try this again at 38. Dude, I swear I burnt 900 something calories. I skateboarded for an hour and 20 minutes, and I was dying.
That's awesome.
Cardio wise, I was just doing like a little pump track where you kind of just like ride up on a wall. Dude, I thought I was going to die. I used to do this all day when I was younger. Now I'm like, it's like a real eye-opener to be like, all right, where am I at? Because I do feel like, especially, I guess men, and maybe women do it too, but men specifically over-index, like, I'm good. And it's like, try something that you did when you were younger, and you're like, holy shit, I'm going to my heart rate was at like 170 the whole time. Just skateboarding. And I was barely pushing. I just had to like balance myself on this track. And it was amazing, though. I agree with you. It's like find something, to do and just kind of, I don't know. I feel like, I do feel like we get too tunnel visioned into like the career stuff. And it's like, you need to do that to survive. But it's like the sacrifice of hours of time for like their quote unquote rest time into like physical activity just pay dividends and all the other things you're trying to do anyway. But
yeah,
I always sound like a broken record, but I'm like, dude, it's so important, man. It really is. So yeah, skateboarding's awesome. We should go one time. Do you skate?
Nope, I do not at all.
Have you ever?
Nope. And it's funny. I mean, growing up, I was certainly of that age when a lot of kids were skateboarding. I don't know why it just never appealed to me.
Yeah.
I was sort of busy in my own little world. My daughter did for a little bit. She's 16 now, but she did probably like when she was 12, 10, 11, 12, she was pretty into it. The coolest thing I've picked up recently, though it's not a physical activity, but I'm freaking obsessed with it, is chess.
Really?
Holy cow.
How are you pretty good?
No, I'm horrible. I mean,
I'm pretty
just
bad.
learning, but I love it. Like I can't stop playing. I just can't stop.
Who are you playing against?
I'm just playing my boys.
Really?
Literally, just the three of us.
Phone
just go back
chess
and forth.
or
no,
physical
like on
chess?
the board.
That's good. Yeah.
Writing down every move, studying our moves after.
Really?
Like nerding out. Watching YouTube videos. I'm obsessed with this guy, Magnus Carlsen, who's the best chess player in the world.
Him, actually, yeah.
Dude, I can't stop watching chess porn.
Really?
Can't stop.
That's awesome.
Can't stop.
That's awesome.
You know how YouTube figures out what you're about? Like my videographer for our podcast, he pulls me aside like 3 weeks ago, goes, "Are you getting into chess?" And I'm like, "How do you know?" He goes, "Because like I'm managing our YouTube channel and like it only populates it's just like pushing chess stuff all day."
That's awesome.
Like, yeah, dude, I can't stop.
It is good for your
I
brain.
stay up
though.
at night like watching chess videos.
Do you really?
Oh, it's awful. I'm like, it's 9:30. I should go to bed.
What's your opening move? What do you go with?
Oh, I'm typically like E4. You know, I like to castle really early. So I'm going to try to castle within about within 4 or 5 moves if I'm doing a kingside castle.
Really?
Yeah.
I like the first move, the horse, just over your pawns and be like, "What's up?"
Yeah.
It's called. There's a name for it. I forget what it's called. It's like the English or something. But the horse. I just fucking bang. Here's my motherfucking horse.
Yeah. No, the knight's cool because again, he can hop over people.
You move in that fucked up L-shaped pattern. But yeah, I love chess too. That is fun. I just say I don't have anyone to play it with. That's the thing. It's like I don't. It's how long does a chess game take?
One of my boys is super aggressive, so the games are quick because he just comes out swinging.
Does he really?
Oh, he swings.
I like that.
He goes for the fences. And then the other one is so conservative and so thoughtful that the games take like so long. And I got us a little timer too. So I'm like, buddy,
That's
you have
nice. Yeah.
2 hours to make the first 40 moves or you're disqualified.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, you got to think on your feet.
And the younger one, the one who's super aggressive, is so competitive. Like if anyone in our family ever makes it and becomes like great, it's him. Because you can't like the fire is insane.
Really?
When he loses, he tears up his sheets, and I'm like, buddy, you shake my hand, and we had a good game. And he's like, and he's just losing his mind that he lost a game of chess.
It's war, yeah. It's war. Is it true that the possibilities of the chessboard are kind of infinite?
They
in a
are
way?
truly infinite.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a computationally infinite problem.
Damn.
Or as close to, I mean, I shouldn't say infinite, right? In that AI can,
yeah.
But it's from a practical perspective, I think it's infinite.
Damn, that's awesome. That is cool. How old? I'm gonna try it. My kids are too young for that. Me and my daughter did one.
Your
of those,
oldest is 6?
4.
Oh, 4. Okay.
4. 6 could be 6 is doable.
6 is
4
totally doable.
I did chess. We did one of those big ones. We were on vacation. We did one of those those huge outdoor chessboards, the big pieces.
Yeah.
We did it, and I tried with my 4-year-old, and by the end of it, it was like the mommy and daddy were the queen and king were mommy and daddy, and the pawns were all of our babies. And I was like, all right, man, the hell, this sucks. But yeah, man, that is amazing.
I once made the mistake of in a game, like one of my older one, the one who's more conservative, like he had a rook, knight, bishop in the back that hadn't moved, and it was like 25 moves in, and I'm like, buddy, those guys over there are standing there like they got their thumbs up their butts. And now those 2 boys cannot stop saying that. They just walk around anytime someone's not moving, why do you have your thumb up your butt? And my wife's like, why do you say this stuff to them? Like, you can't say anything like that. They're just going to say whatever you say.
I know. It's weird. It's weird because my 4-year-old is like language police in our house. She will learn that something's bad, and then she's just like horrified of the idea of saying it. And she's like, if she hears us saying anything like we even say the word hate, I don't know this wasn't a rule for us. Like, oh, I hate that. She'll be like, don't say that. And she polices our language. If we say my wife said freaking the other day, and she's like, Mom, that's a bad word.
It's a bad word. Yeah.
Like, no, it's not. And she's like, and I was arguing. My wife's like, no, just give her that one. She's like, it's pretty nuts. But yeah, that is true. They do parrot everything. You really do got to watch what you say, because you can say whatever you want around them for the longest time, and eventually you're like, oh shit, you can talking shit on my neighbors. You can hear this. You can hear this right now.
Our youngest one, when this is the super aggressive one, so it's not surprising. I think when he was like 3, we get a call from the preschool, and they're like, yeah, you got to come and get him. My wife's like, what's going on? They're like, he said the F word.
Whoa.
My wife's like, oh, I'll be right there, but
they made you get him for that?
Yeah, I'm like, this is a misunderstanding. And my wife's like, first of all, the kid is obsessed with rhyming. So he almost assuredly was like, truck, fuck, or something like that. And the woman is like, no. He's actually the first kid we've ever heard use it properly.
Oh, no.
They're like, what was the situation? And they're like, well, he was in circle time, and we were telling all the kids they had to be quiet, and he wasn't being quiet. And we're like, hey, if you're not quiet, you're going to have to get up and leave. And he wouldn't be quiet. So we got up and made him leave, and he stood up apparently and just goes, fuck it. And then walked and got out of the corner.
Like, that's a coincidence.
Yeah. I'm like, I think he learned that from his mom.
Yeah, my daughter nailed she dropped something one time when she was really little, and she was like, shit. I was like, damn it. That was right on
That's
the money.
on me. Yeah.
I was like, that was right on the money.
Yeah.
So they made you, what are you, like, it was like a 1-day suspension?
Yeah, it was like he's on probation now. I mean, it was like, we ended up finding another preschool for him that he did great in.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's insane to be like, you got to come get this kid.
Yeah.
Although that could spread like wildfire amongst other people. This is all,
yeah, I guess I can see it from their point as well.
No, that's lame. That's crazy to be like, he must leave right now. But I think they got to let that kind of stuff go. That is tricky though, man, because especially that age, it's like kids hit other kids, and like, some people are like, this is like, you can't. It's like, but I don't know. I treat it like the dog park. It's like, they'll figure it out, man. If it's really bad,
there's got to be enough discomfort in the situation for the kids to evolve.
Yeah, exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, because it's like, dude, you gotta they're gonna do that, man. It's like, me and my cousin got separated and we were in kindergarten together, and then we went to the same school the next year, and they were like, AM class, BM class, they can't be with each other at all. But I thought it turned out all right. It turned out all right. So before you get out of here, because we're coming up on where are we at right now, Josh? I don't want to keep you too long. Huh? 45. Perfect. The one thing that I feel like was in the book a lot, you talked about how, and again, always correct me if I'm wrong, because I have stuff in my head. Stress was something was really on the back burner that you kind of put to kind of like the forefront of your thinking from like a day to day and a health perspective. Where do you kind of stand on that? And like, do you have any thoughts on that at all?
When I think about like, what is the thing that's going to kill me fastest? I think it's undoubtedly stress. I just think I think it's the most insidious killer in a way, because it's the hardest thing to measure directly. Mm-hmm. You can sort of measure some of its indirect actions, like on blood pressure and blood sugar, which both go in the wrong direction when stress is high. But I think there's even components of it that just, even when blood sugar and blood pressure are normal, I still think it's just doing something to your brain, probably, and to your heart. And again, I don't think anybody would feel good living in a zero stress environment. Mm-hmm. So it's mostly just about kind of managing how one responds to it. And I think it goes beyond just stress. I think it's sort of like just overall like satisfaction in life and contentment and, enjoying your relationships with people. I interviewed this guy on my podcast, Bill Perkins, who wrote this incredible book. It's one of my favorite books. It's called Die with Zero. Mm-hmm. And he writes about how you have basically you have time, you have money, and you have experiences. And he talks about it through health. So health, time, and money. Okay. And you're not optimizing for the most of any one of those. You're optimizing for the net of fulfillment. Okay. So too many people miss that, right? They're just like working really, really hard to get as much money as possible or as much fame as possible. Or they're like maniacally focused on their health. That's the only thing they think about. Right. Or they're just trying to, live as long as possible or make as much time for certain things. But it's kind of like how you put all those things together to optimize around fulfillment. So in this book, he writes about this idea of like people aren't doing the equation correctly. They're deferring too many experiences when they're young to do when they're old, but then they don't realize when they're old, their health is actually not, they're not actually able to do it when they have all the money in the world. Yeah. They can't go and take the incredible vacation, or if they can, their kids aren't with them. Or their kids aren't young. So I think it's just kind of reframed a lot in my mind and made me realize that, when our kids are young and we are incredibly healthy, that should be the time that we invest more in fulfillment and experiences as a family, which has just been a completely different mindset for me from where I was most of my life. Yeah. Just going kind of like full blast, make as much money as possible. Sleep when I'm dead. That's a big one. Sorry about that bug, dude. That bug won't leave you alone. It hasn't even come over to me at all. I must stink. Yeah, that is kind of a cool thing too, man. Because you don't really. It's also something you don't really learn. Like nobody really tells you how to manage your stress. You kind of mostly, from what I gather, you kind of just like watch your parents deal with stress, and you're like, all right, and you just kind of like take those patterns and just apply them to your life. And it's like, it really does like, what I've been trying to do recently is like, just take one day out of the week. Usually it's Sunday because like we're all off, everyone's hanging out. And I just try to focus on like being as calm and at ease. That's like top priority of my day. Usually it's like, I got to get this done. I got to get this done. And like on one day a week, I'll be like, I'm only focused today. My number one goal is to try to like stay in a state of like ease and kind of contentment. And if I get out of it, I like before I'm like, I just try to zero in on that. That's been kind of like, for me, that's been like a bit of a revelation to be like, oh, I can move through like multiple days without completely spinning myself the fuck out. And, it's been, I don't know, it's been kind of nice. And what do you think spins you out? Is it just busy? It's too much? Yeah, it's too much. Or is there a particular thing?
Yeah, I mean, it could be anything. It could be my kids not listening, kind of spins me out if I'm like trying to get up the steps and it takes 40 minutes and I'm kind of like, all right, like, let's go. Could be anything. Could be like overwhelm, like just like situations at work I got to deal with that are just completely overwhelming. Stuff in the house, it's just like lack of sleep. 'Cause our kids are still so little that like our sleep gets fucked up. But yeah, it is. It's usually like relational stress or just like work stuff. Those are the two main things that kind of like can really spin me out.
And I would argue that most work stress is relational as well. So I kind of agree. I think relationships are both the best part of life and the most stressful part of life.
Yeah, I agree. So that's been my.
That's what's going on here, by the way. A lot of relational stress in that film. I can tell you right now.
That is true. But yeah, that's kind of the thing, man. It's like, well, this is my whole point is like you do have some say in how much a thing can everything can floor you. Things come out of nowhere and you're like, you get caught in it. But just learning how to be like, all right, something got me. It's like laser tag. Like my thing's beeping. I can kind of walk myself through this without like going on like a Godzilla path. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know. That's been pretty helpful for me. Before I get caught. That's my ultimate fate. She's like, babe, I'm having a naked picnic with a prostitute. She's right there and they're coming out of the water just hawking me.
It's not what it looks like.
But yeah, that is the number one, man. It's like, dude, it's like managing stress, keeping yourself physically fit because you can't like otherwise like what the fuck are we doing, man? It's like, it's like unless you some people are just surviving, which is kind of that sucks, but I don't know. I feel like there's other countries where people are just surviving, but they still do cool stuff. Yeah. They have like big ornate jugs of water and they carry it around, they like dance and stuff. I don't know. It's kind of sick. I'm just trying to make people happy. I don't know how to do it. Well, dude, I mean, is there anything else that's kicking in your mind?
I don't think so.
Well, I think you did it. Thank you for coming and doing this. I apologize for the strange format, but how do you feel about standing in podcasting?
I think it's hilarious. I think it is. This is the first standing podcast I've ever done.
Bro, it's not bad. How do you feel about it, honestly? You can hurt my feelings if you
honestly,
don't like it.
I think I have better posture than I normally do.
That's what I'm saying. When you're sitting on a podcast, you're kind of like slouching forward. Yeah. Standing keeps you on your feet. It keeps the mind sharper.
Like, I feel like we're doing a political debate the way they're angled at each other, too. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I need a moderator to ask me a question. That's the only thing that it would have been a little better if it was moderated. If this discussion was moderated.
That's a good idea.
And more heated.
That's true. Yeah. That is true. I want to work on being less
I wouldn't
chill.
mind a teleprompter next time, if you wouldn't mind.
Teleprompter is nice.
So I want a teleprompter there, moderator there,
right.
A little more.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, we could bring some heat.
Yeah.
We could bring some heat to If you want the heat, I have some burning hot questions. I didn't ask them. They're about a lawsuit, so I was like, I don't know. Well, you can't talk about lawsuits. No one can ever talk about them.
I know the lawyers say no.
Yeah, why?
Yeah.
What's the point? Bring awareness.
Bring awareness.
Yeah, I did. I was researching just, when you have someone on NBC and I saw you're embroiled in a lawsuit and I said, hell yeah, dude. That's what's up. So, but we won't, the lawyers won't like that. That is bullshit. You can't talk. I mean, dude, don't do it. But that is like, why? What the fuck's the problem? I don't know, whatever. But anyway. Well, dude, thank you. Dude, is there anything you want to plug? Is there the book? Obviously, read the book, dude.
Read the book, listen to the podcast.
Peter T, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
You're the man.
To carry your sight into the future with strength, brightness, and grace. They remind you that nature has always provided quiet guardians for your health, hidden within the gentle gifts of the garden. They are not here to excite. They are here to balance. The garden has dimmed 2 stars. The table is empty, but the body is full of gentle medicine. Blueberries are not loud like sugar, not fierce like spice, not bold like coffee. They are soft, steady, patient. They hold your brain, cradle your stress, strengthen your memory, you into dreams. so sleep now. You've eaten at the right times. You've listened to the rhythm. You've walked the path of the calmest fruit tonight. May your mind be as clear as a blueberry morning, as soft as their skin, and as still as the garden they grow in. Good night and good blue dreams. The world is quiet now. The sky has dimmed into a deep lavender. The stars are peeking one by one, like sleepy eyes blinking in the velvet dark. There is no hurry. There is no task left unfinished. There is only you, your breath, and this soft moment suspended in the arms of rest. Now, imagine with me a path of moss, sunlight, and softness. It winds gently through rolling meadows. It glows a gentle pink under the moonlight. And as you take a step onto it, something sweet rides the breeze scent like spring, like comfort, like strawberries. Welcome to the strawberry dream. This is not just a fruit. It is a story, a memory, a medicine. Tonight, we will wander through its origin, its gentle benefits, and its perfect place in the rhythm of your day. Let us begin. Breathe in, like petals falling. Let go. The story begins long, long ago. Before modern gardens, before marketplaces and shiny plastic boxes, there were forests. And in those forests, hidden beneath ferns and shade, were the wild ancestors of the strawberry, tiny, fragile, wild, tart, and bright. They were found in Europe, in the green valleys of France and Italy, and in the woodlands of North America, where indigenous tribes gathered them in woven baskets. The first strawberries were not grown by human hands, but by the slow patience of nature, rain-fed, sun-kissed, grown only in springtime. Native peoples loved these berries. They celebrated their arrival each year. They called them the heart fruit, not only because of their shape, but because of how they made people feel happy, warm, and calm. In the 1300s, European monks wrote about wild strawberries. They believed they had powers to cleanse the soul, to cool the body, and to sweeten the spirit. But still, they were rare, never fully tamed. Until, in the 18th century, a gardener in France had a dream of a bigger, sweeter, redder strawberry. He crossed two species, one from Europe, one from the Americas, and from that union, the modern strawberry was born. It spread like music across the world, planted, harvested, loved. In Japan, in England, in America, in Cambodia, in Chile, everywhere. The strawberry found its place. But even as it grew in size and sweetness, it kept its softness, its calmness, its quiet strength, and here you are, walking through a dream field filled with them. You reach out and gently pick one. Its skin is soft. Its color is like the first blush of dawn. Its scent familiar and comforting. And when you place it on, your tongue, it melts, but not just in flavor. It melts stress. It melts noise. It melts resistance. This is not just fruit. This is medicine. And it's working already. You see, strawberries are rich in vitamin C, and vitamin C does more than protect your immune system. It quiets inflammation in your brain. It shields your memory. It helps your mind hold on to good thoughts longer. It keeps your mental gears oiled, smooth, and graceful. They are also full of anthocyanins. Those are pigments that give the strawberry its deep red hue. But in your brain, those pigments become guardians. They shield your brain from aging. They calm down the chaos. They restore clarity when the fog comes in. And did you know? Strawberries also improve blood flow to your brain. They help oxygen reach the farthest corners of your thoughts. They light up your neurons like tiny stars. They even boost serotonin, the chemical of peace, of sleep, of quiet joy. With every bite, your mind becomes less tangled. Your body more at ease. Your heart more open now. Imagine this. It is early morning. A bowl of fresh strawberries sits beside your cup. You haven't eaten yet. The world is still. This is the best time before breakfast, when the body is clean, empty, waiting. You take a few berries and eat them slowly. Their sweetness wakes your senses, but not with force, only with light. They glide into your system. They begin clearing space in your brain. They say, let's begin today with kindness. Now imagine again. It is mid-morning. You're about to begin your work. A study session, a creative task. Your mind needs sharpness, but not caffeine, not chaos, just clarity. You eat 3 strawberries. Their power isn't loud, but it is deep. They begin improving your focus, your recall, your ability to stay with one thought, gently, fully, like a butterfly resting on a petal. No rushing, just presence. And now again, it is late afternoon. You are tired. You've given your energy, your voice, your thought to the world. But instead of sugar, you reach for strawberries. They do not jolt, they do not spike. They simply lift, they remind your brain, you're not done yet, but you're not alone. Now, one last time, it is evening. The sky has softened into gold. You are winding down. You want rest. But your mind is still fluttering memories, plans, worries. You eat a few berries. Again, these are the berries of surrender. They contain melatonin and magnesium. They ease muscle tension. They lower stress hormones. They prepare you for sleep, not by numbing you, but by soothing you. And now, here in this dream, lying under a giant strawberry tree, impossible, but real here, you breathe in their scent. It is like kindness made real. You close your eyes, your breath slows, and in the farthest corner of your mind, a single berry glows with light. That light flows into your thoughts, into your past, to your body, and then into sleep. You drift, gently, with the sweetness of strawberries in your soul. It's single quotes. It's single quotes as time to let go. Let go of the heavy thoughts. Let go of what didn't happen today. Let go of what needs to happen tomorrow. None of that matters now. Because tonight, your only task is to drift, gently, into peace. Now breathe in, slowly, and breathe out. Even slower. The breath settles you. The body loosens. And your mind begins to soften, like petals opening in the evening air. You are safe here. You are supported. And you are ready to wander. Not in the real world, but through a dream world, a place where strawberries grow like stars on the earth. Let's begin our journey together. Step softly with me now into the strawberry field. You're walking barefoot on soft green grass. The sun has just set, leaving behind a glow of warm gold and cool lavender. The wind is still. The air smells like summer and stillness. Before you stretches a wide open field. Low green plants curl gently along the earth and between their leaves. Small red fruits shine quietly in the dusk. Strawberries, thousands of them, not in boxes, not in stores, but in their natural home, nestled in soft soil, sleeping under the stars. You take a step forward, and then another, and the scent becomes stronger, sweet and soothing. These strawberries are not just food, they are living memories, nature's medicine. Whispers of the earth, grown in silence and ripened in sunlight. And as you walk among them, you begin to feel something gentle shift inside you. A kind of hush, kind of healing, Benefit 1, boosting brain health, you kneel and pick one. Strawberry, its skin is soft. Its shape is perfect. You place it in your mouth, and it melts, not in a rush, not with sugar, but like a slow smile across your thoughts. As the berry dissolves, your brain begins to respond. The strawberry is a gift to the mind. Inside it are compounds natural and ancient that sharpen your memory. Focus your attention and brighten your mental clarity. You feel a warmth in your forehead, not heat, but light. As if a window in your mind had been opened, the fog begins to lift. The thoughts that were jumbled now rest in gentle rows. You remember, not everything, but just enough. And you feel calm. Strawberries have long been known to support the hippocampus, the part of your brain that helps you learn and recall. Even a few berries, when eaten consistently, can help keep the mind young, alert, and free from decline. It's a silent miracle, really. And you're feeling it now softly, slowly, completely. Benefit 2. Reducing inflammation. The path through the strawberry field bends to the left, and you follow it without hurry. Each step takes you deeper into calm. Now the air is cooler, the sky darker, and around you the strawberries grow bigger, deeper red, almost glowing. You sit beside a bush. You pick another berry, and this one tastes different. This one is for inflammation, for the aches that don't show, for the pressure behind your eyes, for the heat inside your joints, for the tiredness that lives in your bones. Strawberries are filled with natural anti-inflammatory compounds like vitamin C and quercetin. They don't just soothe your body, they protect your brain from slow-burning inflammation, the kind that can cloud your thoughts, dull your reactions, and leave you feeling heavy even after rest. With each soft bite, the quiet healers go to work. Not loudly, not quickly, but thoroughly. Inside you, the fires cool. The tension loosens. Your nerves exhale. And your brain says, thank you. You feel lighter now, less tight, more still. Benefit 3. Rich in antioxidants. The next part of the field is covered in dew. Moonlight reflects on the leaves like glass. You notice the berries here are small and deep, in color, almost purple. These are the antioxidant strawberries. These berries are warriors, but silent ones. Inside their skin live anthocyanins, the deep red pigments that protect your brain cells from stress, pollution, and time itself. You eat one, and you feel a kind of armor grow inside your mind. Not hard, but strong, not rigid, but wise. The antioxidants move through you like a cleansing rain, washing away what your brain no longer needs, the toxins from a long day. The silent pressure of perfection, gone, softly gone. You feel ... preserved, like the essence of who you are is. Safe now, stored in peace. Held in calm, the strawberry has done its work, and you are whole. Benefit 4. Supports heart and immune system. Now the strawberries guide you to a round clearing. In the middle is a wooden table. On it sits a bowl, glowing slightly under the stars. You sit. You eat. These berries are for the heart, not the poetic heart, but the real, beating one inside your chest. Strawberries are filled with vitamin C and manganese, which strengthen your blood vessels, improve your circulation, and support your immune system. They help your heart beat in rhythm. They help your blood carry oxygen more freely to your brain. They help your body fight what does not belong. As you chew slowly, you feel your pulse become steady. You feel your chest soften. And most importantly, you feel safe. Safe in your skin. Safe in your body. Safe in the silence. You lean back, you close your eyes, and everything is in rhythm now. Benefit 5 improves mood and reduces stress. Final stretch of the path leads to a small hill. At the top is a single strawberry plant taller than the rest. On it grows one last berry. You reach out, you pick it, you eat, and everything slows. This berry is the berry of emotion, of peace, of joy. Inside it are nutrients that regulate serotonin and dopamine, chemicals that bring balance to your mood, lift your spirit, and ease your thoughts. As it melts in your mouth, you feel a soft smile inside. Not loud, not forced, just ease, the kind of calm that says, you've done enough. You are enough. You are allowed to rest now. The strawberry has spoken, and your body listens. You lie down on a blanket of moss. The stars above twinkle like sugar, and the strawberries around you hum a lullaby. Made of earth and rain and time, you are floating. Safe, sweet, still. The brain has slowed. The heart has softened. The soul has curled into comfort. You breathe in and out and in. Sleep comes like petals falling on water, soft, silent, complete. The strawberries will guard you through the night, and in the morning you will rise with a mind refreshed, a heart steady, and a body healed. For now, just rest, good night, and good strawberry dreams. It's time to sleep now. The outside world can wait. Tonight, there's no work to finish, no screen to check, no memory to replay, just rest. Let's begin with a breath. Inhale, ... Hold it for just a moment. ... Now. Exhale, ... Longer than. Before again, inhale softly. Exhale completely. Feel the body soften. Feel the mind unwind. And let the gentle rhythm of sleep begin to rise like the early tide. Tonight, we'll take a peaceful journey through the hours of a day. A day unlike any other. A day guided entirely by one small, red, magical fruit